Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. I'm your host, CmdrAleon, and we're going to be tonight, hopefully, interviewing a number of new people that have had encounters. I want to give you the protocol on the show for people that are just coming in here. New people, those that are regulars, know what the protocol is of the show. This is the number one spiritual UFO talk show. Hey, One Toyota, we're doing good. Hello there, Trina. Flash Mo, thank you for the FYP on that. Sarah Davis, everybody coming in here. So the protocol of our show, if you're new to Encounters, we are a actual show. We're not like this usual TikTok thing where people argue with each other, talk over each other, all that crazy stuff. My background is radio broadcasting. On WESU-FM 88.1, non-commercial, listener-supported Pacifica NPR radio, and also been there for about 21 years doing Ashtar Command radio, Cosmic Eye, every Sunday morning, 11:30. Thank you for the microphone. Thank you, Psychic Dream. That's great. I've never seen a microphone before. That's really cool. Matt, good evening. Everybody coming here. Dorota, user 654. So anyway, I'm going to get into the protocol of the show so you know where everything is. To be a guest on the show, you have to have 200 plus followers. That's a TikTok thing, which is not bad. That means you get to go on with audio. If you have 1,000 plus followers, you get to go on both audio and video live on the program. You're on Encounters. So this is the way it works. If you wish to go on as a guest, you need to tell me why you want to come on, what related to visitations, disclosure information, UFO sightings you're having. Those are the three areas. Crop circles, maybe. It could be a number of things related to the subject. We don't get into paranormal stuff. If you have any paranormal stuff going on, leave it out the window. There's plenty of places on TikTok for that. We're strictly involved in spiritual UFO areas, and that's the way we want to keep it. Secondly, no drinking, no smoking, no vaping, no drugs on the show. That will be an automatic no-no on the Encounters. The other thing is no cursing, no foul language on the program. You must be over 18. No showing your kids on screen. No kids on the screen. That's another TikTok thing that would get me into a big mess here. So I try to keep things at a certain protocol of the show to keep it at high quality. And, we have good moderators, so we don't let the trolls get in. If they come in, we take them right out because we're not that kind of a TikTok broadcast here. Love and light to all. Marlene, good to see you. Ginger Girl, thank you for the follow. Sammy, good to see you. Trisha North Star, welcome. T Flawless. Let's see who else is here. Well, there's a lot of people here. Cat Angel, good to see you, Cat Angel. Let's see, am I missing anybody? Well, as people can dead, Auntie Julie lived, and I'm from Concho, Okia, my home reservation, the Cheyenne and Arapaho tribes of Oklahoma. Interesting. Deadly Auntie Julie. Nice to have you with us. Hey, Sprites. Lizzie K. Black Peterson. Connoisseur, good evening. Young Skywalker, good to see you as always. Everybody coming in here. And my show from last night, which was all about the upcoming contact, you can watch that show if you missed it on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Ashtar Command Spaceship News. Ginger Girl is from Las Vegas, Nevada. Good to have you in Las Vegas, Nevada with us. Susan Martin, welcome to the show. Seidel Flowers, welcome. The Real Something. Rock, welcome, Rock. And Woody Chicken, welcome. Woodpeckers in the house. Good to have you with us. They have video of UFOs above our casino, Lucky Star Casino. Oh, we're going to have you on our show. I think you're going to be Deadly Auntie, one of our first guests. So stick around. We will have you on as our first guest tonight. I have a feeling you have a great story to tell. And so you'll be our first guest. So don't go anywhere. Amber, welcome to the show. And let's see here. That sounds really amazing. We're going to bring on from the rabbit hole over in the planet Earth down in a place called Florida. Good evening, James.
Greetings, Earthlings. I am now here to bring message of love and light.
And he is. Hey, Good evening. How you
Good
doing, brother?
evening, Commander.
How's it
Who
going?
is, wait, you already got somebody you're bringing up? Let's bring them up.
Yeah, we're gonna bring him up. She's let
Oh,
me see where she is.
sorry.
She has a video of UFOs above a casino. Somebody recorded it, Lucky Star Casino in I think it's Concho, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Is it real?
Yeah, it's real. I know she has the video, which and Deadly Auntie Julie, when I bring you up, you can accept a request if you wish to come up. You can also go on live with we'd like to get you on screen. Plus you'll have the audio capability. So I just gave her a request to join us, and we'll see if she is able to join us. I just sent her a request to join us. We'll see what happens.
I've heard that it's that it's a legit that incident is real.
Oh, the one in where she is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard something about it vaguely, but now that she's talking about it, I'm trying to get her to come on here. So
Ask
let's
her
see.
when did this happen?
Oh, she says it's okay. Something about YouTube. So Deadly Aunt Julie, I have a YouTube channel, Ashtar Command Spaceship News, and that goes for anybody who wishes to watch any of our past shows. They're recorded there. So I'm just going to do this again. I'm going to press my guest button, Deadly Auntie. We're reaching out to you. Hopefully, you can just, when you see the thing for a request, just press the accept thing, and we'll put you on here on live on the show. So we're trying to get you on here. Let's see what's happening.
Come
Hey,
in.
hot mama. Oh, here
Check
she is. I think she's in.
that I was replaced. Who's gonna replace me?
Hello.
Right. Hey, how you doing, Deadly Auntie Julie? Can you bring your camera on?
No, not right at the moment. I'm sorry. I'm fixing to go to
Okay.
bed.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
supposed to
I
be
always
in bed
seem to catch people
already.
going to sleep. Yeah, I always catch people at that right
Yeah,
moment.
I want to say it was like 10, maybe 12 years ago, somewhere in
Yeah,
that time period. Maybe even before. I'm not for sure. Um,
yeah,
I just remember watching a video and I hear a whole bunch of stories. It's my home reservation and it's where I'm from.
yeah.
I wasn't actually raised there, but we left, I want to say, in 1980. And then we
Okay.
came back, gosh, Lordy have mercy. I want to say we lived there about 15 years previous
15
to,
years.
I moved to this side of the state 10 years ago. I moved here to this side of the state so I could get clean, and I'm now clean.
Oh,
So,
good. Congratulations.
golly, yeah. So, if that timeline makes sense to you, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Look, you're doing fine. You know, you do what you can
uh,
do.
yeah.
So
So, unfortunately, the gentleman I was with, and I really don't want to mention who exactly was because
you don't have to.
it would bring some things up, open a can of worms. But
Well, we don't want to do
he's
that.
not living with us anymore, but God rest his soul. But he was with me at the time, and we were on our reservation, and we were obviously not supposed to be together, but it was just he and I, and we both witnessed like these. We thought it was Sasquatch at first, but because there's always Sasquatch stories, you always see outlines of Sasquatch running through, the
Yeah.
distance or whatever. But
Uh-huh.
anyhow, and then I have like video of Sasquatch in the dumpster too, is what I've heard.
Huh.
I'm not sure if that one's on YouTube or not, but I know for sure that they have it on their feed at the casino.
Huh.
So he and I were,
Sorry, Julie. This story, which reservation?
it
I've
was
heard
dark.
this story.
It
Wait a
was
second.
dark.
What reservation was this
This
on
is a
that the
whole different
Bigfoot?
Concho and Concho. It's also known as El Reno, Oklahoma.
Reno,
Snoop
Oklahoma.
Dogg and
Oh,
Ice
you know,
Cube go there every year.
and
Snoop Dogg
that's,
did what
and that's
now?
where they have the. Listen, I've heard a story that there is a reservation out
Hey,
there
I
that
I
does
have
have
tons of
video.
stories growing up when I remember when I was in diapers, so oh my god, I'm getting chills thinking about it. Me and my brothers, we have tons of poltergeists and all of that paranormal activity
we'll stay away from the paranormal.
So I have tons of that. But the gentleman I was with when he was still living, we saw this figure. We thought it was Sasquatch, but it wasn't. And to us, it had red eyes, and it seriously looked like it had dreads, almost like Predator.
Like the Predator movie.
It was all you could see was the outline, and it was very dark because it was dark outside. And all I know is we stopped what the hell we were doing, and we got the F out of there.
So do you think it was some sort of extraterrestrial?
Yes, we both discussed it. Yeah, we both discussed it.
It sounds like it. Yeah, it's really weird.
We heard it breathing a little bit, and then it stopped.
Julie,
and then the whole air got completely silent. The whole atmosphere was completely silent. Wow. But yet you could still see his eyes, and they were bright. They were just bright red.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, and they were big too. And he was huge. We thought that's why I said we thought it was Sasquatch.
It could have been a type of Sasquatch.
Commander, this sounds just like the story when I was on the military base as a child.
It scared the hell out of us enough that we left in like 5 seconds, you know.
So what you're saying about the military base?
Remember, I was on a military base when I was younger, and I saw the same exact description that she said. I told you this story, Commander, and then the military guys came out and told us to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, I do remember that.
But it looked like the dang Predator, like an outline, fuzzy, and red eyes.
Yeah, and those are known to be interdimensional. I've heard stories about the Bigfoot with the red eyes, and even in Pennsylvania. A long time ago, I read a story that they were in like the Pocono Mountains or something. People that lived up there, they saw these tall things that looked like a Bigfoot with red eyes, and they were like these flying saucers in the sky, and they were in the vicinity of where these Bigfoots were. It was pretty weird. It was just, I remember a story about that.
Yeah, I hear that a lot too with other related stories. That the UFOs and the Bigfoots are, you know, in the picture or in the mix or whatever. So, what was the rumors on the base that thing was? Was there any rumors going around, or was it just hush hush?
James, that's for you.
There was just always rumors that there was stuff going on the base over there. Always creepy stuff. So it definitely, people said it was extraterrestrial.
Yeah,
hey, Johnny.
I forgot to tell you. Yeah, my dad was in the military, and he did like several things where he was the military police and had top security clearance.
Really?
He did several things where like they would come pick him out of public, and he would have to go in his younger days. And he was in his civilian clothes, and they'd be like, "You're coming with us. You got a job to do." And so they would pick him specifically, and he would go, and he told us he saw the flap fly open, and he saw the wreckage of some type of ship that resembled, like parts of it resembled a UFO.
Where was this?
That's what I want to know. Where was that?
I'm not really for sure. I would have to get with my brother on that.
So let me ask you a question while you're trying to figure that out. So what year was that? And he told you about this. So when can you describe what this craft looked like that had crashed? Obviously, it was a crashed UFO, correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you were told?
Apparently, one of the trucks had just a tarp over the bodies. And then the other one had some wreckage.
So there was not only wreckage, there were tarps over physical bodies that were from the crash. That's
what
UFO.
He said. That's what he said. And like he didn't tell us this until we were he was like years out of the service or whatever. Years and years and years, and we were on a different road somewhere.
Now, did he say anything about?
He said we were driving on a dirt road on another reservation that he worked for, and he says, "What time is it? What's the date?" And then after he asked and confirmed what time and what date it was, this was back in the 80s, he starts telling us these stories. And I'm just like, wow, about that. And so I'd have to get with my brother exactly on that, because my dad will be gone 2 years. Unfortunately, he's gone 2 years ago in May. And so he's been gone, but so I don't have that, stories, but
Right.
all I can do is get together with my brothers, and thank God they both have good memories also.
Oh, good. Because that's pretty great. I mean, we've heard stories on encounters since I've been on here of people that have talked about crashed retrieval of these extraterrestrial ships that have crashed or were taken down by scalar technology. So I find it fascinating when I hear these stories.
He didn't see the bodies, but he knew that that's what was supposed to be under there. Like he said, you could tell there was like a being or something under there like that, a creature. And so he said supposedly that, the other ones were saying that it was the little
recovery process.
I guess
was he involved in the recovery process?
He was the security more so.
Security. And he had high security clearance, correct?
Yes, he was more of the security.
Interesting.
He would
because
definitely had to use defense, he would, but he was more, the intelligent side.
Okay. Interesting. So
yeah, my dad had a PhD in education.
Oh wow. So was that like one of the only instances of a UFO encounter that crashed? Were there other stories of him with his high security clearance being taken out to other things regarding extraterrestrial intelligence?
My brother told me that they used to go to Pikes Peak all the time and once a year, and I didn't realize that until after I grew up, kind of thing. And that they said that Dad would leave them, and they went into the side of the mountain themselves with Dad a couple of times, but they didn't go into the deep part, deeper rooms or whatever.
Right.
But then he would have to frequently take them back to the motel. And I said, so that's why we went to Pikes Peak all the time? And they were like, yeah. I was like, wow. I said, especially when we were little. And he was like, yeah. Apparently there's a base there.
A base? What? A UFO
inside
base?
The peak, supposedly inside the peak or alongside the peak. I'm not for sure.
So I
was little, so it's all coming together for me too. And my brothers are telling me things and I'm recollecting. Because in my little mind, I had to, I'm trying to put it together still.
Yeah. Now, Pikes Peak, let me get this straight for our viewers. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO show. Our guest is Deadly Aunt Julie and also my co-host, James. So let me get this straight. Pikes Peak, are you saying that was a installation for the military, or that was an ET base? A military installation?
Okay. Yes. Where they had intelligence, I guess on the side of the mountain is what I'm understanding from my brothers. Yeah.
And this particular craft that was crashing that we're hearing about, that you're talking about.
I don't think that was that in Colorado. I don't believe. I want to say. Okay. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was in New Mexico. I don't know. I know it was down south somewhere, I believe. Okay. I'm not for sure.
That's okay. So that was somewhere.
My dad was born in November 28, 1935.
Yeah. So that was in another state, the crash that happened. Everybody, it was in another state.
I can't even remember where he told us exactly, but
Interesting.
I'm sorry, I don't have those facts. I could definitely get back to you though on that.
No, absolutely. You're always welcome. But just what you're giving us now is something that I don't think most people have heard this story on any social media or TV network. So I think it's pretty amazing.
I'm just laughing because, it's like a new revelation to me, realization, I guess, like you would say.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I'm getting older and I'm real. Dad's gone now, and I'm putting two and two together as to why we moved so much and things like that.
Yeah. So we
So
talk about so we've got the tall, red-eyed, what could be an extraterrestrial, interdimensional being. We have this situation, and so tell us some more stories. I have a feeling you've got a few more extraterrestrial stories
Well,
up your sleeve.
Commander, I was going to ask Julie. I was going to ask you. You said your father obviously every different base you were on, was he involved in this type of
we
work
didn't
on every
actually live
single
on the
base?
base. Is the thing? Is the thing? It was like his educational job was his cover up.
Yeah.
We
Wait a
frequented
second. Wait a
Kansas.
second.
We frequented Kansas
So
2 or 3 times at one particular school.
so let me ask you. So his day job, he was an actual like a teacher.
He was a principal, coach, and teacher. Yes.
Really? That's interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
And wait,
Yeah. He
and
spoke a
then the
few different
military
languages.
would call him out for special jobs.
Yeah. When I was like really super young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
he
crazy.
took a
Wow.
lot of trips. He took a lot of trips. I remember,
So
and
Wow.
besides like taking teacher conferences or anything, he took a lot of trips.
really,
There,
that's
my dad was a very intelligent man, so he was
yeah.
very, methodical and saw the bigger picture of why he had to do things the way he had to do them.
Really, was he
So
like? It reminds me of like when
he
we used to
was
watch.
reared to be a medicine man, and there was just a lot of things going on within the family,
Yeah.
and instead, he decided to become a teacher and come back
Interesting.
and help his tribe.
How did he
He
get
that's
into? How did he get into being a top security clearance in where he was? Was that something originally? Had he joined the military, or what happened?
I want to say Dad was drafted,
He was
and
drafted.
he got out of the wartime with Vietnam because it
Okay.
was at
Oh,
that time
Vietnam.
when he was
Okay.
going to college, and I think he married Mom.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
he fell under a law or something where if you were going to college and or married or something like that, then you didn't have to go do actual
Yeah.
wartime, but you
So
still
how did
served.
it? How did he go though from being this person that was drafted to having top security, cosmic security clearance to do what he was doing? How did he get to that level? Do you know?
It was kind of like a. I would have to get with my brother. I can't remember the exact situation, but I know that he was only almost involved in the Cuban missile crisis.
Okay.
Um, he was involved in something in North Africa, and he said that was pretty. Both of those were pretty scary.
Huh.
Um, and he was involved with something in Panama Canal.
Huh. And when you say something in Panama Canal, are you talking about extraterrestrial?
No, with the military.
Oh, the military. Okay.
As far as like some action going down.
Oh, okay. I got you. Go ahead,
But like
James.
as far as the Cuban Missile Crisis, I think he had to go there to help kind of help diffuse
Okay.
and get a whole like bigger picture
Yeah.
mind, somebody with that kind of mind.
Mhm. James, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, what?
I thought James was going to ask you a question. James, you there? Did you have a question?
Yeah, I think I did, but I'm having a brain fart. I'm just fascinated
I'm
by this.
sorry.
I am too. I'm very fascinated.
I'm tired
Is
too, guys,
Oh
this
But
yeah.
yeah,
this guy? I mean, I
like
never met him, and God rest his soul. But man, your father sounds
yeah,
like he was an
he
amazing
was
man.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was my cheerleader, man. He was my best friend the last 15 years. Me and him spent together because I was using. I was an addict. And
Okay.
so yeah, he helped me out. He was
Oh, good.
man. Yeah.
Good.
I'm 6 years clean now.
Good. Very good. Congratulations on that. So, what other things related to UFOs and ETs can you tell us? I think you have some other stories.
um I remember when I was going to high school, Indian Junior College, it was called at the moment. I was at 1994 fall, 1994 semester, and I don't remember what month or anything, but I remember it wasn't too terribly cold out because I just had like a jacket on. And it was a little bit sunny, but a little bit of clouds. And there was this triangle UFO with different colored lights pulsating, not really pulsate, like a LED, chaser light.
Right. I gotcha.
But it was very nonchalant and um, incognito, kind of,
Yeah.
at first, until you noticed it. And then once you noticed it, you couldn't not notice it.
Yeah. Wow.
And it stayed there for about almost 45 minutes, I want to say.
Wow. That's crazy.
And it stayed right above the student union. And there's several people that witnessed it. My brother witnessed it. He said he saw it, and there were three of them. And they were really low. They were lower than the clouds.
Yeah.
But they were high enough to where you were still like, wait, what is that? Oh, that's not an airplane. Those
Right.
are not airplane lights. And it's daylight, so how are we seeing these lights so brightly? Kind of thing. And so, yeah, we were just mesmerized. I was 19 years old. I was just mesmerized. And all I could do was stand there with my mouth hung open, waiting for something else to happen, wondering if something else was going to happen. And all we could do was just look at it. And
Yeah.
I think a couple of people maybe had a 35 millimeter camera. And I don't know if they got shots of it or not. I don't really think anybody really did. I think everybody was just in such shock that nobody really got anything good on it.
Wow. Now, how did you feel when you were when you saw this thing? I always ask people when they have a sighting like that, did you have any feelings about, were you afraid? Did you feel excited? What was the feeling that you had when you were looking at this?
I thought it was going to land. I thought they were going to land. The first one especially. It seemed like the one that was, it's almost like there was one bigger one and like maybe two smaller ones. And then it was like they shape-shifted size and got
Wow.
to the same size as the
Yeah.
other bigger one.
Interesting.
And, mind you, this is back in 1994,
Right.
gosh, 30 years ago. And I was thrilled, and I knew what I seen was for real the moment in the first few seconds I saw it. And because I also looked around at everyone else. And there was a lot of people that were still going about their business. We were all outside. It was hanging over the student union. And it's, like I said, it was good 40 minutes.
Wow. 40 minutes. That's a long
45
time.
minutes, my brother would say too.
Wow. Thank you, Jaden. Thank you for the roses.
And
that's a
he
long
witnessed it, and it was pretty, I want to say the other people a lot of them were in shock. Like, what is that? Oh my God. I said,
Yeah, they were in shock.
dude,
Yeah.
it's a UFO. It's fixing to do something.
Right.
Or
Well,
at
there were
least
three
it
of them.
looks like it is.
Well, there were three of them, right? There were three of them, one bigger
Yeah,
than the other.
but-
And then
Yeah,
same
but then
shape.
it was like the other two would kind of disappear into the clouds or go incognito and invisible or whatever. And then they would come back and closer to the bigger one, the original one. And then, but they all had like, oh my goodness. I just want to say it was like rainbow colored lights, but it wasn't like something that would like completely blind you,
Yeah.
but that you noticed. And it was like the ticker tape, running. Like
Wow.
the LEDs,
Interesting.
the banners now for advertisements now.
Yeah.
It was like that. And
Wow.
only it was very, very smooth, like water, the way the lights moved.
Wow,
The
that's
fluid,
pretty
it was
crazy.
like the lights were like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain too. They were they were bright, but yet they were kind of soft.
Do you feel that? Do you feel that you were supposed to? This is encounters, and the three people that requested to go live, we're going to do one person at a time here, so it doesn't get too crazy. So, and those that want to go live, just by the way, put in a sense why you want to go live, what your story is, so we know. But in terms of this, for 40 minutes, seeing these non-terrestrial, extraterrestrial spaceships. Did you get any feeling that they wanted you to see them like this?
Yes.
Usually when I hear stories like this,
Yeah,
and it's
they
40
wanted
minutes,
to be seen.
there's got to be something going on. They wanted to be seen.
They
So whoever's
definitely
controlling
wanted us
it
to know
wanted you
that
to
they
see
were
them.
there. It was the
Right.
feeling I got.
Did you feel like a situation at the point that like maybe they want to make contact with us if we initiate it, or did you just see they wanted you just to see them and that's it?
I think that it was a possible contact situation, but I think mostly they wanted us to see them.
Right. Right. Interesting. Very interesting.
I think
James,
that
you have
was
any
the
other?
general
You have any
consensus
questions?
also.
Yeah.
I
No, it's fascinating.
It was very thrilling. But
Yeah.
to be honest, I was just standing there mesmerized with my mouth open. I was like I said, I was 19 years old. Here I am almost
19. Oh yeah, 19. Right. Yeah. You were just a kid then,
I'm
right?
almost 50 now, so yeah, it was the lights were pretty vivid. It was like a light gray, almost damn near translucent, but not really.
Yeah.
Because it was
Yeah.
like it blended in more with the clouds.
Right. So it was kind of translucent. They can change if they're
Yeah.
really beyond this earth. They can change their self to be almost cloaked or translucent spaceships. That's a very good way of putting it. Absolutely.
So yeah, so
Absolutely.
that was and I wish my brother was here to talk about it too, because he experienced a little bit, some of it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But yeah, so
Interesting.
that's all I can remember for now.
Okay,
As
that's
far as
fine.
my
I
experiences,
appreciate
my
you.
brain is pretty fried, and I'm really tired. I bought this new phone, and
Yeah, well, you
tonight,
came up
and
here, well, that's
I gotta go
live,
to
so
bed
yeah.
extra early. But yeah, what was your
Well,
name?
I'm CmdrAleon. I'm the host of the show. I'm from Mars originally. I'm also host of WESU's NPR Pacifica radio show for 21 years in Connecticut. We broadcast all over the world, and that's a show dedicated to the Ashtar Command, my encounter show. If you're new to it, I've been on here since I think early 2023 is when I started doing this.
Okay,
And
because I've
this
seen
is,
you off and on.
yeah, this is when I'm usually on. This is an actual show, unlike other TikToks where people are yelling at each other, hitting each other over the head with
Oh
clown
gosh, I can't
outfits.
stand that.
This is a real show. That's why it's
Right.
what it is. It's the most popular UFO show on social media.
Okie dokie. Well, I am privileged and honored to be on your show. And
No, absolutely.
yeah, I would not, I'm Native American, I'm Cheyenne tribe of Oklahoma. There's no way in the world I would absolutely come on here and just say some babbling, BS to
No.
y'all.
I know that. I can tell that right off the bat. So we know every guest that we've had has real encounters, real stories. We don't let anybody on here who's just out to, lie to us. I can read
whatever.
Hey, look, I've been on radio for 21 years. I've interviewed all kinds of people, so I'm pretty tuned into stories, and I appreciate your story because I think it's fascinating.
Well, I appreciate y'all having me on, and I hope y'all have a great night. And
I hope you do
I will
too.
definitely look for you again. That's for sure.
Yeah, we're on usually. Sometimes we're off on the timing, but usually 11 o'clock. The other two nights was 11:30, but normally we're on at 11 o'clock, and that's when you'll see the show come on here on the TikTok.
So you said you're originally from Mars, though, sir. And how long have you been here then?
I came to Earth when I was a child, when I was a baby. I actually chose to come here. My parents are no longer here. Their biological parents are gone. My off-planet parents, this is the weird thing. We all, I would say starseed or whatever. So I come from Mars where there are inhabitants of 10 to 15 million people living there. So
I've heard there's millions of people there.
Yes, I know everything about my planet because that's where I came from. I'm also Earth human. I have an Earth consciousness. I have a galactic consciousness, meaning with the Ashtar Command, I've been working off planet with them before I came here on a spaceship. And so that is something. And then I work in cosmic Christ consciousness, where I am tuned in on that level of consciousness as well. So you might
Okay.
say I'm a cosmic book in a sense. I'm depending what chapter you choose to ask me a question about, I will give you the answer.
Oh, you and my brother would get along great, I think. The one I
Yeah.
was taught
So
saying that's not here. That was the
someone,
witness
yeah.
also.
Just a
Someone
rabbit.
said to me, yeah, and the rabbit. He's also from below the inner Earth. And somebody asked me on here. They said, he said did he say he's from Mars? So for anybody out there, yes, I'm from Mars. I'm born here, but I'm actually from Mars originally. It's going to blow some people's minds, I know,
My dad
but I
my
am.
dad told me a story, that when, there was a professor that said, some of you are going to have to leave this room. And he was talking about UFOs and things like that. And so my dad took this course or whatever to make credits. And he said some of the girls were going out of the room crying, and because he was talking about UFO and alien experiences and such. And what you just said reminded me of what he said, he meant, about the intelligence and blow people's
Yeah.
minds. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do that.
Our
I'm here to
human
bust the
brain
matrix.
has only so much percent that we use on one side, and the other side very, very little of it. Only because we are, use our left and right arm, and left and right leg. But yeah, and
Yeah,
he
I
said
don't
our
even.
brain cannot
I
fathom a
I
lot
don't
of
even.
things.
I don't even use my brain. I mean, I use it, but I use my galactic consciousness most of the time, unless I have to do Earth-based things like go to a supermarket and do the normal things human beings do. But from a Martian perspective, I'm very amped up. I've done stuff on here where I've been amped up a lot in the last few weeks. I have the ability to. I'm a telepathic communicator with a space being called Kadarmanka. I've been communicating with Karmanka before I was on the internet, before there was even an internet. And he's with the Ashtar Command and the Sagittarian Council. I don't channel anything. I knew that there was going to be contact coming in the next few years back in 2022 before I got on here on TikTok.
Um,
I've known about the upcoming communications and galactic interaction with the people of Earth for a number of years. And so I talked about that last night. That's also on my YouTube
Why does
channel.
this sound familiar to me?
Yeah, you'll get watch my YouTube channel when you get a chance. Last night's show, I went all out of the closet about what's going to be happening between 2024 and 2027, and I talked all about what's going to happen with intergalactic contact with the people of Earth. And you'll
Okay.
hear it on my show from last night for anybody that missed it.
Okay. On YouTube.
It's on my YouTube channel. It's Ashtar Command Spaceship News. That's my YouTube channel.
Okay. I will definitely have to look that up and tell my brother
Sounds
about
good.
you.
I'll definitely
Well,
tell
I'm going to
him.
get off here and let somebody else have a chance if you got any more breath in you.
Me, breath, I got plenty of that.
Or if your throat's not dried out.
I got
Well,
my
it was a
apple
pleasure
cider.
and an honor and privilege. And you all have a great night. And I'll definitely look for you guys again.
Go ahead, James.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah, thank you. You
Okay.
too,
Good night,
Julie.
James. Good night, y'all.
Hey, thanks for being on here with us on Encounters. And my co-host James and I are here. This is Encounters, the #1 UFO spiritual talk show on social media. Forget about BCBC, CNN, and all those offbeat cable channels. This is where it's happening here. Disclosure, encounters, stories. It's happening here. Contact information. When we're going to have contact, it's right here. You're not going to hear about it anywhere else. You're going to hear about it here on Encounters. Please share and like. We want to get up to 100,000 likes tonight. We're at 13.5. Please share and like the people you think should be here. Let them know about the show. If you want to be a guest on the show, what you need to do is, number one, be over 18. No kids on the screen. No drugs, alcohol, smoking, or vaping. That's absolutely out. No cursing, no foul language. And what else was I going to say? Those are really, I guess, the main things. I keep thinking there's something I'm missing here. But I think that's really the main. Oh, yeah. You have to have no paranormal discussion. Strictly stay on topic with us here about your visitations, your encounters with space people, crop circles, Bigfoot, all this stuff. and you're
What
welcome to join us.
those crop circle videos, Commander?
Yeah, though the crop circle videos, I posted that one. It's been
Are
going
they
nuts.
Are we starting to see more popping up now? What's like? What do you think on that?
I think that we're gonna see more. I had my friend Colin Andrews look at the video of the crop circle I posted here, and he says he's never seen a crop circle like that. Usually, the crop circles in England, the when they have crop circles, it's like a golden color in the crop circle. This crop circle didn't have a golden color; it had a different color. I showed my wife the video of it, and it's different. I mean, the person that took the video had a drone up there in that area and came across this thing, and the drone took pictures of the circle. That's why I posted two different videos. One showing the drone on top of the crop circle. So I just let it go. I let people just post whatever they want, what they think it is. I think it's fascinating. I just know that it looks like a crop circle. It definitely has every indication of being a crop circle. And I don't think it was AI generated, because I think the person stated when I got the information that they had their drone going up in that area of farmland, and this thing was right there, and they videotaped it. It appeared supposedly all night. It could be man-made. It could be Crazy Lou. But whatever it is, I'm letting people go with their imaginations. And it just, again, it doesn't look any indications like someone could have just gone in there in that field and done it based on the way the crop circle looks. And if you give it a close look at both videos, you'll see that I'm saying, how could somebody physically get in there and do that perfect crop circle? It appeared like overnight. It could be a different type. Maybe it's the crops or whatever that make the color change or whatever. I don't know. But I gave it to my friend Colin Andrews, who's the well-known crop circle researcher. He lives in Connecticut, and I had him take a look at it. So I'm still waiting to get more definitive information from him on that, James. I think it's interesting, though. You've seen the video, right? I think you've seen the video, James, correct?
I just think it's listen, somebody said, I know Lou said that they're man-made, but even if these things are man-made, we still
Right.
have to marvel at the ability and the talent that it takes. But I don't think that one that you showed was man-made, because that thing was
I don't think
very
it was. Yeah, it was very intricate. I don't think it was man-made. I don't think anybody went in there. First of all, to go in there, you'd have to disrupt the crops and get in there to do what you did. I keep going back and forth with it on a level head, but I don't think it was man-made. I think it was definitely not man-made.
what
And everyone,
we should. I bet you that farmer is pissed.
I would say so. Either that, or he's intrigued that there's a crop circle in the United States on his
Right,
farmland.
right.
I mean, some farmers in England, Colin Andrews was telling me, some farmers didn't like the fact they were crop circles. Other farmers left them alone, because there was an energy in the crop circles. Like Colin Andrews was going to crop circles with like some sort of device, and there'd be like a sound coming from the crop circle. If it was a fake crop circle, it would not have any sound or anything, and the crops would be not down on the ground the way it would be if it were done by non-terrestrial or extraterrestrial. They'd be different. So there's a difference in crop circles. I learned this from Colin Andrews from talking to him, that the crop circles that are real, when they have they have some sort of a gadget, or not a radio, but a indicator that picks up the sound, and there would be sound in a real crop circle. That's how you know the crop circle is not faked. It has a certain sound to it. We want to be on live. We want to be on live. The Lee something. You want to be on live. What do you want to talk about? I think it's Del Lee. You need to tell us what you want to be on live for. Person saying, James, we want to be on live. We want to be on live.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, what do you
Well,
from Germany?
give us an indication of what your discussion is with us that you want to go on live. It has to be related to the ET. I just want to kind of explain about Oklahoma. Oh, okay. Can you tell me what you mean by explain Oklahoma? Are you talking about extraterrestrial areas of Oklahoma?
Yeah, no, the video we were just talking about.
Oh, okay. Oh, you wanted this? Okay, let me bring you on here. Well, actually, you need to have. You have to give us. You need actually to get to 200, 200 likes. You need a couple more likes to go on live for audio. So once you get up to 200, we can have you on to talk about Oklahoma. Actually, this crop circle was Kansas City, Missouri. Just for people to get the information correct. The videotape.
Oh,
What?
she only needs 3 more followers. Let's go.
And you know what's going to happen if this person is not, if this person does anything that is not related to the show, and we just got to be careful. We'll bring you up, but we'll be very quick with the button if it's anything other than what it should be. So let's take a chance here, and let me see here, and we'll see if she is there. We'll try to bring her up. She got it. Okay, so let me see here. We'll find out who it is. I'm going to go backwards. Oh, there she is. We're going to bring you on as a guest, and we'll see what you're going to talk about here, at least on audio. So here we go. We're going to have a chance to talk to this person regarding Oklahoma. We'll see if that happens. I've been on broadcasting for a lot of years, so I'm pretty aware of what's happening here when I'm on here. So I don't see anybody coming in yet, but I have sent her a request to come on our show. You're watching Encounters, a show that's out of this world, and it truly is. My co-host is James, and we want to welcome you to our show tonight. I want to say hello to Friends with Fairies. Hello, Friends with Fairies in Vermont. Greetings to you up in the north. Hopefully it's not too cold up there. Welcome everybody coming in here. And again, if you wish to come on here, please tell us what your story is before you come on. Give me a sentence or two for James and I so we know. Yeah, and we'd love to have you join us.
Yeah, no more anybody coming on singing the song, hands on your knees, hands on your knees.
Right. Yeah. We have
Commander's the only one singing songs on here.
Yeah, if I sing songs, you know they're good. We're going to
song.
Well, so I know my friend in Vermont is always good for a story, and I know she's really good. And then there's I think it's Odyle. She's been on the show before. Whoops. I'll bring her on, and then I'll bring on Friends with Furries.
In Canada.
I think she's in Quebec.
Yep.
Remember, she's had a good story. We're going to bring her back on here, and then we'll bring Friends with Furries on for a little bit too. Hey, good evening. How you doing?
How you doing? I'm good. Long time no see.
Not too long, maybe, right?
Yes, not too long. Yes.
So, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So what's happening since the last time we spoke to you?
The last time since we spoke, nothing happened. I think I need to meditate more so I can have more contact with the alien being I told you about, but nothing happened.
Yeah, take your time. You take your time with the meditation because there's no rush. I mean, when it's supposed to happen, it will, but there's never really a rush, to make the contact. Just when you have time, just focus on it. I know this world is a busy world, but you got to give yourself time. Serenity. Thank you for the roses and everyone else. So it's good to have you with us.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Commander, I was saying it's also really cold in Canada, and we do know that there's less contact when it's really cold.
Is it true?
There is, actually.
Is it true? Like the colder place you live, the less contact you have?
There have been stories
Yeah.
about that. I've
I
heard
never
stories
knew
about
that.
that. Yeah, if you do some research, sometimes in some places because of the cold weather, they're not, in Canada, not necessarily in Canada, but it could be anywhere. For some reason that might happen. But there also can be cases when no matter what the weather is, that if there's a spaceship popping up in a snowstorm, you'll see it. But again,
Okay.
it all depends on the situation.
Wow.
You
I
know,
never
it
knew
is
that.
interesting.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
If you study that, it's not like it's how should I put this? It's not constantly something that happens, whether it be in Quebec or whether it be Oklahoma or whether it be France or whatever. But there are situations depending on atmospheric weather that also pertains to affecting sightings of specific non-terrestrial spaceships.
Okay.
Yeah, it could
Okay.
happen.
Okay.
Just so you know.
But there's something, you remember when I told you the story and everything? I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you, do you think I'm a hybrid or some, of some sort?
Do I think you are hybrid?
Yeah.
I don't think you're a hybrid. I think that I would answer this because of my background and doing
Mm-hmm.
workshops and so forth with people in person.
Mm-hmm.
You would actually be considered a star person, a star seed, where you came here from somewhere else and you just don't remember yet where that is. And I'm going to leave that to you to figure that out through meditation.
Okay.
But once you do, you're not a hybrid of anything. You are directly from the stars. You're just born with a human biological family, and now you have to remember where you originally came from. So that takes
Okay.
time. It's not something automatic. It's like, bam, here I am. Take your time with it. I tell people every time I help people, if they're so wanting to know where they came from, if you stop thinking so much about getting there, you'll get there if you don't think about it. You just have to relax, meditate, and focus. That's all.
That's all. Okay.
That's really all it takes.
Okay. Yeah,
You know.
because sometimes, like when you have those type of experience, you're asking yourself, like, where do you really come from?
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
right. Stephen's saying also there's less people when it's really cold. Like you won't find us go out with our C5 group here in New England when it's really cold. We don't even go out there. It's just too cold. There could be spaceships out there that we're missing because we're not outside in the field. But I'm not going out in the cold. I want to go out when it's warm out with our group and it's comfortable. I will not go out when it's cold. Although one November we did a number of years ago.
Yeah, you know
we were
what?
out.
That's a good point, Commander. Really good point. Yeah, less people outside, less chances to see.
Yeah,
That's
less
true.
people. And how many C5 groups in the world go out in the cold? Now, I'm not saying none of them do, but I would not go out in the cold, standing around for 2 hours or sitting in chairs out in the cold waiting for the spaceships to come after doing C5. It'd just be too cold. I'd rather be
I
in a
agree.
house with a warm fire and, some hot tea or something.
Mm.
And that would be logically for most people, right, James? Yeah, so it's
I'm sorry?
Yeah, that would be logically something for
Sorry.
most people. You don't want to sit out for 2 hours in Vermont, in Connecticut or whatever, where we are, where we have the cold weather, and do your meditation, do the C5, and just like shaking there, waiting for a spaceship to show up.
To meditate in the snow.
Yeah, I'm sure that would be good if you had a self-heating jacket that heats your body. That would probably work out really well. But I think most people that are having sightings, and I'm not saying they don't have them in the snow, in snowy weather, if they're driving somewhere, maybe they're in a car on a highway out somewhere in the woods somewhere, and all of a sudden a spaceship shows up. That's possible. But in terms of, I don't think there's less sightings during a winter area. I think less people are outside during the winter looking and doing C5 activity to look for having contact. But I could be wrong about that. There could be people that are actually doing that kind of thing, right? Very
maybe
interesting.
there's people that meditate on the snow, like people that are very advanced spiritually. Maybe some people do it, but not everybody can do it.
Yeah. And Cat Mama is saying, do we have any more stories? I'm sure we have tons of stories, Cat Mama. Good evening, Cat Mama. So I appreciate you being on here, and we're going to I'm gonna see. We're gonna bring some other people in here with us. I'm glad you're here, and we're gonna see what else is going on here with our audience, and we're gonna try to see if we have any other stories. But I appreciate you coming back on. Just focus on meditation. Focus on centering, and just don't try too hard to do it. Just allow it to happen, and I think you'll have your in contact with your star family. I think that will eventually happen. There's no rush.
Okay.
It's not a rush. Okay.
There's no need to rush. That's good.
No rush. There's no rush in making contact. That should be a T-shirt.
Oh, that's good. That's
Hey.
good.
All right. I'm going to see. I'm going to bring this other person on who captured a portal opening on camera. I believe I emailed it to you. It was on Orion. I think Lizzie, we're going to bring her on there. I'll have to take a look at my email. I've been getting so much. Hey, how do you pronounce your name again? I don't want to mess it up.
Me? Odile.
Yeah. Odile. Okay.
Yeah.
Odile, thanks for being on with us and coming back.
Thank you.
And we thank you for being here on Encounters. And this is Encounters, the late night top #1 UFO spiritual talk show. My co-host James is here. And if you wish to be a guest, please let us know. And we'll definitely have you on here. Let me see who's here. I'm going backwards. And please tell us what you want to talk about, too. That's important, when we have guests on here. We want to make sure that, here is Lizzie. We're going to bring Lizzie on here. I just sent you an invite, Lizzie. If you can come on live, there you go. That's going to be our second guest here on Encounters. And welcome to the show, everybody from all over the world. Lizzie, hey, welcome to Encounters.
Hey guys, let me try to turn up my volume. I've got my headphones on. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're coming in really good. Let's see here.
Awesome.
Can you bring on your camera, or are you one of those people also in bed with the covers on?
No, I can. I was just trying to go to one of the images real quick. I've got so much of that bright light that comes on. Okay, hold on.
Okay. Let's take your time.
Here.
Lizzie could be on screen. There she is.
Hola.
Almost there. Well, you were just there, but there you are, Lizzie. There's Lizzie.
I was going to turn the camera around. Good evening, guys.
Yeah, you can turn the camera around to the images that you want to show us. She has some images ET related that she'll be showing us right here. And explain the image. I did get to you. I did look at that. Can you explain why you circled that?
Yeah, so when I was watching in person, this beautiful pink swirling, there were actually two of them that had come up. And I had not noticed, and this image is almost always on Orion. And I just thought that was really neat. And then when I went back the next day, there are people who have said that Orion is the portal to heaven. So, and then this is interesting as well. So, look, these are drawings. And I feel like if you look at the shoulders, and these are cave drawings that all are matching up to Orion. Now I have messages pointing to Orion, and I'm like, when I look at that image, I'm just like, God, it looks so similar to.
So let's go back to that image.
What someone would have drawn.
Keep that image on there. If people look at this, does that look similar to the cave drawings that she was just showing?
I just think that's really incredible. And how could they have seen, 2,000 years ago, what is in the gases in Orion? I think that's incredible.
Yeah, go ahead, James.
Wait, I want to see that cave drawing one more time.
Yeah, let's go back to the cave drawing.
Not a problem.
Okay, give that a good look, everybody. Then we're going to have you look at that for a few minutes. Go ahead, look at that.
That image was flipped. It's almost like the other side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it fascinating, and that these images, and they're not as many in Egypt, but we've got Babylonia, and also the other thing that was interesting, and you can barely see this one, but how many times have you only seen half of an image coming through, whether it's in your mind's eye or in person? And here is one of them where it's only the top half of their body, and I just thought that was really interesting because not all the time,
Yeah.
but just the way
Wow.
the shoulders and the waist and everything are, the Babylonians, the Easter Island, the Egyptians, all
Yeah.
were. I mean, the pyramids are literally lined up with Orion. I've been obsessed with Orion, and I just thought that was so interesting that I'm watching the History Channel, and this comes up enough to where I pause the TV and I'm like taking pictures, and then I'm out. I was actually out and took that picture before I even saw this. And
Wow,
it's
that's
almost like
interesting.
how things kind of happen sometimes that,
Yeah.
you know, but I don't know if they look like they're praying. This one almost looks like they may be meditating.
It looks like it in the cave drawing. It looks like they are meditating.
But
It is interesting.
and I wish I could remember. I could go back, and I saved the show so I can go back and watch it. I can't
Yeah.
remember where these were, but I can go back and watch the television show, and these are just amazing. But I just the way the body shape is,
Yeah.
with what I had seen, I'm like, that's really interesting. And again, I'd never seen that circle before. Now, so Orion has also, and I can't remember, but I've heard it a couple of times referred to as the portal to heaven. And I had
Huh.
never seen this before. I was taking pictures. I actually got 5,000 views on my little group. So it's so
Wow.
hard because the center of Orion, it's so bright right here. But
Wow,
so
look
you
at
can
that.
still see that right there. But
Yeah.
what was interesting is, and it's super hard to see because it is so bright. That's why I turned off all the lights. You guys see there's a staircase? It's super hard to see.
I,
I'll send you the
yeah, I can't
photos.
see it. I can't see a staircase. I see the light, but I don't see that.
Unfortunately, yeah, because it's so bright and trying to show you the screen. But I was like, I'd never seen the staircase before, and there were like linear lines, and obviously, these are all the gases that make these colors, and these colors
Right.
are not actually the reds and the blues and the greens that we see. They're actually
Mm-hmm.
pinks and purples.
Huh.
It's just our camera doesn't, our own eyes and our cameras don't pick up the
Yeah.
colors this way.
It does. We
So
don't pick up the details of what you're trying to talk about.
yeah, yeah, or just even the colors. Like
Right.
if you worked for NASA or if you were taking a picture with the Hubble telescope, oh geez, it looks more like this in terms of color. So more
Wow.
pinks, purples, because I believe this is Orion as well. So, and this was taken probably by the Hubble or some other scope. But I've got two um, telescopes, and I was actually getting ready to go out tonight. But
Oh,
Orion's the
okay.
one that I do the most. This month, the Horsehead Nebula is supposed to be amazing. But yeah, you can
Okay.
almost always see what if I flip this image around, what would have been that that person, and then finding, well, not
Huh.
person, but I call
Right.
him in my mind, I call him the guardian because he's there, and then I see the case, and sometimes when I look at Orion, it looks like a Salvador Dali painting, and I just see
Huh.
so many different things in there, but it was
Huh.
really
Interesting.
interesting to actually see, and I believe in my heart of heart of heart of heart, what I saw was a portal. It was pink. It spun. Um, it was absolutely. Here's the full image, actually.
Okay, that's full image right there. And
So, and then
and
if
that
I
full.
zoomed in,
Yeah.
you can
Right. Oh yeah,
see. And again, it's just
there's a
so
little
bright.
bit of pink in there. You can see it on that edge. The pink you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, it is beautiful.
And I've been wanting to do a post. I've only posted on my like Astro thing, and I got 5,000 views, but only 70 people commented because there is like a great Astro community. But yeah, I mean, this even looks like when I say this looks like Salvador Dali,
Yeah.
to me, it was just really fascinating.
No,
And yeah,
it is beautiful.
looking at it live, and I've never seen that. It was like the pink, the spinning. It was really awesome. And I could just really see this figure more. And he's almost got like some thermal. I don't even know how that happened because I'm not using any
Yeah.
thermal. It's just my regular
Yeah.
camera. But
Huh.
it was pretty
Wow.
cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, Lizzie, thank you for showing us that. That was something I think everybody here is saying, wow, our audience is looking at it. It's really amazing. It really
Yeah.
is.
It was. So yeah, thanks for letting me share. And like I said, I'll go out tonight, and I'll keep emailing these to you. So
Oh, yeah, definitely. If you do that, I'll take a look at them for sure.
I would appreciate it.
I would definitely, I'd be honored to look at these kinds of things. I examine things really closely and give me just a header as to what I'm looking at so I can actually know what I'm looking at. That'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely, you guys. Well,
Hey,
thank
Lizzie.
you. Thank you
Thanks
so
for coming
much.
up here. That's Lizzie, another great guest on our show here on Encounters. Everybody,
You guys have
thank you for being here.
a great day. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Lizzie, thanks for coming on here live on Encounters, the #1 spiritual UFO talk show. And you can be a guest on our show too. My co-host James is here with us from Down the Rabbit Hole. And we're up to 32.4 thousand. We need to get to 100,000 likes. So we need people to get on there. And if you want to be a guest, you must be over 18. No drugs, no smoking, no vaping, no cursing, no kids under 18 on the camera. You have to be over 18 to come on live. And we try to keep the show, as you can see, at a very high professional quality show. That's why we're so, #1 in what we do, because my background is in broadcasting. And, we try to bring the same quality from the radio show to our TikTok show. So if you'd like to be a guest, tell us what you want to talk about related to encounters, visitations, UFO sightings, disclosure information. We'd love to have you on. We're always looking at new guests. If you have 200 plus followers, you can come on live. And if we can't smoke. You can't smoke whatsoever. You smoke on here, I get off TikTok. I get a message from TikTok. It'll be the end of the show. No smoking ever on screen. If you have to be smoking, folks, and you're addicted to your smoking, then don't come on. If you are not addicted to your smoking, or just throw your smoking out the window, get rid of it, and then you can come on and talk about your story. Not on camera. Ever, ever, ever. I will not ever put anybody on camera. The first thing I see, if anyone's vaping on here, I'm going to disconnect you in like 2 nanoseconds. Not happening. It just jeopardizes my show on TikTok, and we're not going to have that happen. So you have to figure out what's more important, your smoking or the program. Make a choice. Yeah, so that's the whole deal there. Just so people know, TikTok is very strict about certain things, and I'm not going to blow it here after being on here a year and a half, with people smoking, getting drunk on camera, all that stuff. No smoking. Get rid of the smoking. #1, clear your consciousness, clear your body. Your body is your temple. Stop smoking. Get rid of it. Stop vaping. And because when contact happens, you want to be the best representative of humanity that you can be, because we're going to be having contact in the next few years. People better get their act together. I said it last night. People need to get their act together before we have contact, and that's just the way it is. But I appreciate Corey King, brother. I just want to make sure you know what the rules are, so you don't have any problems if you want to share a story. It's really important that we keep it at the highest levels here. So last night we were talking about contact a bit. As a matter of fact, I really got into sharing with people what's going to happen. And what prompted that was the newest information from Darlanka, who I have a great respect for, who communicates with Bashar of the Essassani. So basically, there's preparations. We have to get ready for contact between 2024 and 2025. Then in 2026, we have to be really ready, because direct contact will be happening in the year 2026. Now, I think there's going to be direct contact happening sometime in the late part of 2024, sporadically into 2025. I just feel it. I just feel it. I think there's going to be an enormous amount of direct contact in 2026, 2027, which is going to be like going to the top of the mountain. So 2027, just recapping, without going too crazy here, you're going to have global contact all over the planet. So yeah, 2027 will be a big change. Absolutely. Absolutely. And matter of fact, I'm trying to see, I'm going down the list of people here. And let's see who's on. I'm just going down. We have a lot of people here. I'm just trying to see. I might randomly pick somebody to come on here. So I'm looking at all the people we have. You might be randomly selected by the commander. And so, we're trying to keep things flowing here. I don't want to get too crazy, but I want to keep things kind of flowing a bit. Let me go backwards. We're trying to see what we're going to do. You're watching Encounters. If you want to be a guest here, if you've never been a guest before, we'd love to have you on here. I love, I don't mind having people on that have been on before. I always do. Whoops. We lost our co-host down the rabbit hole. He disappeared. He went down the rabbit hole. I think he's down the rabbit hole right now. So if you wish to be a guest, we'd love to have you on here. Just have to be 18 or over. And you also, no kids on the thing, no smoking, no vaping, no drinking. What else? No cursing. We just want to keep it at the highest quality. When I have 200, I would love to tell my story. Let's see, Tisha Smith. Hey, Tisha Smith has 157. Tisha, we're going to follow you. Everybody follow Tisha Smith. She's at 157. We want to get her up there. And I think one of the things that we have to be aware of now is that as people tell their stories, we learn from them what their own personal experiences are, whether it be visitations by ETs, whether it be UFO sightings, as we had our first guest, Julie, talked about a crashed UFO retrieval and bodies that were actually taken. Nyla's World, thank you for the roses. So much going on, right? So much going on. It's pretty amazing. And we want to be able to have that understanding of everybody's experiences all over the world. I'm really, hey, Nina, welcome to the show. Tisha, we'll definitely get you up to 200 here. She's got 173 followers. Boy, I'll tell you, she needs to get 200 and we'll bring her up here. So everybody follow Tisha Schmidt. And she's at 173. If we get up to 200, I'll bring her on here on audio and she can tell her story. That's what I love doing here. See, this is the one thing you'll find about my show. I want everybody equally to be able to talk on the show here and get up to that point where they can share their stories regarding visitations, contact, all that stuff. And we're going to see here, we get Dusty Carr. Welcome everybody who's coming in here. If you're just coming into the show, this show's on usually, hey Kate, this show's on usually at 11 o'clock, although we were late the last two nights at 11:30. We normally are on with Encounters at 11 p.m. So you can tune in at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, and 8 o'clock on the West Coast. Julie, thank you for the finger hearts. We appreciate that. Jojo, welcome to our show. Let's all help Tisha. Let's get her up there. We'd love to have her on here on the show. And we'll get to see what her story is in just a moment or two. I'm pretty sure it'll be happening pretty quickly. So we'll see about her coming up here to share her story. And we'll try to get her on here on the show. So we have people following her. I'm going to see where she is now. I think she's pretty close. She's at 192. So she's at 192. We're at 42.9 thousand likes. We need to get up to 100,000 likes. So I want everybody get involved. Everybody tap that screen to get us up to 100,000. Everybody follow Tisha Smith and we'll have her up to 200. I'll bring her on the show here to share her story. It's still at 193. We're pretty close. You know, it's a team effort here on the show. It's a team effort to get everybody involved here. That's the thing about this show. I don't let anybody fall asleep here. You might be the audience, but I'm going to be having you on your toes. Guaranteed. And I think we're almost there. She's at 194. If we can get her over 200, I'll put her on here right now on the show. She's at 194. We're getting close. We're getting close, folks. So we appreciate your gifts. Thank you, everybody who's been gifting us. You can also support our show by doing TikTok gifts. And during the show, if you decide you want to gift us any TikTok gifts, please do so. That's totally unconditional, and it's up to you. And we're going to also set the thing here. We're setting the galaxies up. So I'm setting the pin. I pinned up the galaxies. So that'll be there for people that are able to do that. And we're going to see if she is able to come on now. Let me take a look here. Let's see. We should have her in here somewhere. She's at 196. Thank you for the roses. Thank you so much, Kit Kat. We're so close to getting her up to 200. She's at 196 right now. We'll get her up here to 200 in a minute, I'm sure. She has 4 more likes to go, or follows, I should say. If you follow her, she has 4 or 5 more followers to go, and then you'll hear her story. And you're watching Encounters right now. Let me see where she is. She's at 197. She's going to do it. She's at 197. And this will be probably the first live she's been on where she can actually share her story on a real show that deals with the spiritual UFO implications that we talk about here on the show every night. She's very close. She's at 199. Let's get a couple more folks up above 200 for her, and we'll have her on here. We'll be happy to enjoy a discussion with her. I think we're really close to getting her up there. My audience is the best. My audience on TikTok is really the best people. Let's see. Here we go. Tisha is now going to be a guest. Congratulations. She made it over 200. Accept my guest request. You can come on audio, Tisha, and share your story. You just made it over 200. Congratulations. That's how we do it on this show. We really try to help everybody. Way to go. Way to go. Now, if we can get her on here, that'll be good. After all that. Where is she? She probably doesn't know how to do this thing. Let me get back here. We're going to get you on here live. You're over 200. I hope she didn't disappear on me. After all this work, getting up there, she disappears. Is she around here somewhere? Tisha, where are you? After all this work, don't disappear on us. Oh, there you are. I got kicked out when I accepted. Oh, that's really weird. We're going to try to bring you in here. Hold on a minute. Okay, I just sent you I just sent you a guest request. There you go. Now you got it. Congratulations. Hey, in a minute you'll be on live. Hey, Tisha, good evening.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Hi, welcome to the show. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, we do our job here on Encounters to help people get to where they can come on live. So tell us about yourself. Where are you? And tell us about what your story is that you wish to discuss with us and share with the audience here.
I'm in Toronto, Ontario.
Okay.
And when I was a kid, it was the strangest thing. I was maybe 4 or 5 years old, and we were all in the house. And my mom had said, "Oh my God, get away from the door." And of course, being a kid, I run to the door. And all of a sudden, these was such a bright white light coming through our door. You could see shapes of beings. Next thing I know, all the kitchen cupboards, every cupboard in our living room started opening and closing. Everything got hot, then everything
Oh
got
my God.
cold, and then it was just gone. Everything was completely normal. And I'm sitting on the floor thinking, what just happened? I knew somebody touched me, but it didn't hurt. At
Yeah.
first, it felt hot, then it felt cold. I asked my mom, what was that? She said, what are you talking about? I looked at my brother, he looked at me, he left the room. It wasn't until like 20 years later, I said to my brother, hey, do you remember this? And he remembered everything to a T, but he remembers leaving. He said
Leaving.
he left, started to float, and then he was back in the kitchen. Has
Really? So
anyone
he
ever heard or said anything like that happening to them?
no, this is interesting. So your brother, when the cabinets everything got really bright, he was floating. How long how many minutes was that before this is really interesting. How many
Well,
minutes
when it
was it
happened, it
that
was light outside. When it was over, it was dark.
wait a minute.
I have
So
no idea time. Like I was so young, I just know it was light out when it started, and then it was
yeah.
dark. Like dinner time, my mom was prepping dinner like nothing happened.
So when it was light out, if you had to pick a time like daytime, the thing started when it was light out, correct?
Yeah, like mid-afternoon.
Mid afternoon. But when the when you ran to the door, was it dark out or was it light out?
It was still daytime. It was
It
like
was
the
still
middle of the
daytime.
afternoon. Yeah.
But
And
by
then
the
when it
time
was
this thing was
over,
it was dark.
it was dark. It was dinner time. My
Okay,
mom was
so
prepping dinner.
dinner time, you had a couple hours of missing time.
Yeah,
Yeah, you had a couple hours of missing time. Absolutely. I'm getting information. You were actually taken off planet.
really.
Yeah,
It
I
was,
read into stories pretty quickly. You were taken. You said you saw somebody touch you. Well, there was somebody touching you.
yeah, it was like I felt really warm and then I felt cold and then it was over. To me,
Hmm.
it was over.
It was
But
over.
the only
Well,
difference was it was the afternoon when it started and then it
yeah,
was all of a sudden dinner time. My mom knew nothing of what I was talking about when I asked, why did the
yeah,
kitchen cupboards do that? What was the light? Nobody knew
yeah.
anything. And it wasn't
No,
until like 20 some odd years later that
mhm.
I asked my brother that he remembers floating, and that was all he remembered.
Okay, so I'm getting information for you. I do this on my show with people that have had these things. Don't tell me why I know things. I just know them. So your brother, when he was floating, what you call floating, that's interesting. When your brother was floating, he was actually taken onto a spaceship. He wasn't just floating, he was taken onto a spaceship. Does he even have any recall of what occurred?
No, he doesn't
He
remember
doesn't.
anything either. He just remembers the floating feeling, and he was about 10.
He was about 10 years old. I
I,
was going to
I
ask you how
was
old he
4 or
was.
5, and he was 9
Or
or
five. He
10.
was 9 or 10. So he was floating, which everything's coming together. He was taken on a ship. He was elevated or not beamed up. He was taken gently onto a ship. He won't even remember it. You were going to a door. Everything was like really bright. You were touched by some sort of a being. I'm closing my eyes trying to get the information here. How did you feel when you were touched? Did you feel a sense of peace? Did you feel like they were
Felt
going to?
warm. Um, I felt warm, like comfortable, I guess.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
scared.
Not scared. Yeah, no, they weren't negative. The contact you had when that happened, they were not negative space people or anything. They were positive. If they were negative, you would have told me something different.
Yeah, no, I didn't feel anything bad. I just don't know what happened to
Oh,
the time.
okay.
Like I
Yeah,
wish I could, and I've tried every so often over the years to try to
yeah.
remember, but I don't remember anything. And
Yeah.
anybody I've ever mentioned it to just thinks I'm crazy.
Well, you're not. You're on a show now where you're revealing for the first time your story, and you're amongst people here that are watching this all over the world that support what you're talking about. People are listening; they're fascinated by your story, and I'm so thankful you decided to come out of the closet on this show for the first time on TikTok, on any show, to talk about this. So it sounds to me, and I read into energy and stories, that you had a very positive encounter. You were probably also taken off planet, although you won't remember it, but I think you were both taken off planet. That's why things are kind of fuzzy between daytime and then at dinner time. There's a lot of missing time there. Now, missing time is something that we should talk about a little bit for people that don't know what that means. So, the person Crazy Lou, you have to understand something. If a person is being touched, they're just being touched to let the person know that they are there. Doesn't mean that
Yeah,
they're
it was
trying to
just like
touch
my
them.
shoulder. It
Right.
wasn't a
She's
bad
telling.
touch.
Right. She's explaining how she felt. What you have to understand, Crazy Lou, listen to how she felt, not what you think it should be like, how she felt. How she felt wasn't like, oh, they were trying to take me and put me on a table. That's an abduction. She was not being forced to do anything. The being was touching her invisibly to let her know that, hey, I'm here. I'm not here to do anything. I'm not here to harm you. See, I've been a contactee since the 60s. I've been involved in this subject deeply for many years. So listening to a story, I can tell you, and she's telling you, that it was not a negative encounter, nor was it something negative. So you have to listen to the story, Crazy Lou,
No, not at
and
all.
understand it. She said it was not negative. So throughout whatever you're thinking, listen to what she's saying, because that's the important part of the story. But go ahead. She was
It
just
wasn't
tapping to
negative.
get, no, they were tapping to get her attention, which is very different than an abduction story. And I've interviewed people on my radio show with abductions. This is not an abduction story. This is not like, oh, why didn't you just tell me who you are before you touch me? If you want to get someone's attention, you tap on their shoulder, you're going to get their attention. And that's
Yeah,
what
it
they
was
did.
definitely nothing negative.
Right.
Ironically, my
That's right.
brother got into space and UFOs and all of that after that, but he never
Oh,
really
after that.
told me why he got into that kind of stuff. I mean, we were 5 years apart, so it's not
Right.
like
Right.
we had that type of
So,
relationship. It wasn't until years later that I asked him
yeah.
what he remembered. My
Yeah.
mom had no recognition of it at all. She didn't remember anything.
Wow. But so is your brother, as an adult now, into this whole subject heavily? And are you interested in the subject a little bit more than you were before that?
He follows it like religiously. I follow
Uh-huh.
as much as I can and try to find
Yeah.
out information. I've always kind of watched and listened to see if anybody had the same type of experience that we did.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. So have you ever thought of like, do you do any meditation? Have you ever thought of meditating to try to reconnect to that day and see who they were or communicate with them?
No, I've never tried. Never really thought
Would
about
you
it.
would you like to try to do that? It's up to you. It's your free choice.
At some point, yeah, I wouldn't mind
Okay.
trying.
Okay. Someone's asking me, when is your trip to the spaceship? I think that question's for me. I'll get to that in a little bit. I would say this: focus on doing some meditation. I do this in my workshops. I take people on journeys to get them prepared for stuff like this in a positive way. I would do some meditations if you can, just like Om or You. That's normally the vibrational word in the meditation that amps up the meditation. And when you do that, just go back to that day when you remember seeing all the bright lights, and being tapped on the shoulder. And when you do that, just put a Christed protection around you. Say, I am a Christed being of light in your meditation when you're doing the You or the Om. And what you will find is at some point you can say to yourself, I would like to know who you were. I'd like to reconnect with you. I would like to know your name. I'd like to know where you come from, the origin of your planetary system. You ask very specific questions in the meditation once you're meditating. and eventually you will have a reconnection, and they will communicate to you. But you always put a Christed protection when you do the meditation, so nothing else other than positive experience and interaction will occur. And take your time doing it, but I want to know what happens. It's like you're in my class right now. If we were in a room, this is what I would tell you to do.
I do remember you telling somebody else that the other night.
Yes. It's very crucial because they want you to reconnect with them. It was just the beginning when you were a kid, but they still know who you are. They know you, but you don't know them because you have not reconnected with them. And it'll be a beautiful experience if you so choose to put that Christed protection around you and do the U or the Om, which is a high vibrational pattern of sound. It will allow you to say, I wish to connect with you. I'd like to know what planetary system you're from. Ask the questions and quietly go within. And eventually down the road, I think you're going to get a response. It'll be a telepathic communications.
I would love to know what it was, who they were, where they were from.
So if you can follow doing what I've just stated and remember to do it, I'd love to see in the future when you come back on here, you're going to tell me, oh yeah, now I know who they are. I know if you do it and discipline yourself, you'll have a reconnection to that experience in a very beautiful way.
I definitely will give it a shot. I
Tisha,
want to know, and if I do, I will definitely let you know. And thank you very much for having me, and thank you everybody who got me up there so I could come on.
Yeah, congratulations again.
To know if anybody else had an experience like that or what you thought of it. So
I think it's beautiful. It's different. It's exactly, you won't hear about this stuff on CNN or NBC or any talk shows because this is real stuff.
No way.
If it's like this, it'll always be on my show that you'll hear these things. You won't hear it on any other talk show. We have people on like yourself who remember experiences and are sharing them. I think there's a whole community of people on my show all over the world that have different experiences of encounters, visitations. Yours is very, very unusual and very unique. So thank you so much for being on here.
It was definitely weird. Well, thank you very much for having me. Have a good night, and I'll enjoy listening to the rest of the show.
Oh, great. Well, we're going to have you as a regular part of our show. And that's Tisha. Thanks, Tisha, again in Canada for joining us. We appreciate that. Thank you for the hearts. And again, if you wish to be a guest on the show and you have a story to tell, we'd like to hear it related to the whole encounters format, which is visitations, contact, disclosure. It could be about crop circles, Bigfoot, any of these areas. We'd love you to come on here. And again, Tisha, thanks for coming on here. Thanks all my viewers for getting up to over 200. And again, I'm honored to have her as the first person here on TikTok to interview her regarding her experience and her brother's experience. As we drink the apple cider. Let's see here. So where are we going to go next? So you're watching Encounters. I'm your host, CmdrAleon, the man from Mars. I work in Christ consciousness or cosmic Christ consciousness. I'm a contactee since the 60s. I'm a radio broadcaster for over 21 years on the subject of Ashtar Command spaceship, Ashtar Command radio, which is the Cosmic Eye on NPR Pacific Radio every Sunday morning, 11:30 Eastern. So welcome to the show if you're just joining us. And please, I want to thank all the people that have been through the night gifting us since we've been on the air here. Please do support our show. You can gift us any gift you want from TikTok unconditionally, and we do accept your gifts. That helps all the work we're doing here on Encounters. So we appreciate it. And we'll be getting into C5 information in March. More into March, we'll be producing a video for our C5 on April the 13th. And also Grace has a video of the other C5 that's happening the weekend after. That'll be happening in Ledger, Connecticut. To be a guest, I need to know what you want to talk about before I bring you up here. You have to over 200 followers. No vaping, no smoking, no drugs, no drinking. Nobody under 18, no kids on here. no foul language. We want to keep the show at the highest possible levels here. And that's, I pride ourselves in doing a very professional program here. So we do appreciate people, participating. And do you have any information you heard latest? Any latest information, Lacey? Nothing latest yet, but I'm sure there will be more information coming soon. Let me see here. And so we're still looking. If you want to be on the show, we need to have you give us information as to what you wish to talk about. And we want to know a little bit more. Oh, thank you, Nina. Thank you for the galaxy. We appreciate it. We'll be on here till 1 a.m. So we're going to 1. We're almost halfway there at 62.5. We need to get to 100,000 likes there. The likes, and definitely follow us. If you're not following us, please follow our broadcast here, my profile, CmdrAleon 2022. We want to get to 100,000 followers to reach out to more people through this broadcast medium. Okay. Andy, welcome to the show, Andy. And Province Zero, Sharon Lee, thanks for the likes. All the new people coming in here, we welcome you to the show. If you're just finding us for the first time, you're watching Encounters, the #1 spiritual UFO talk show. Colleen Hart, welcome. Glad to have everybody with us. DJ Sid something, welcome to our show. Everybody coming in here. I had a vision of a golden ship. Psychic Kim Bia. Let's talk about that vision. That's what we do here. Psychic Kim. We're going to invite you on to talk about your your vision of a golden ship. This is what we do on our show. This is why our show is the way it is, so popular. We're not just nuts and bolts here. We go into the expansion of the whole subject. Hey, Psychic Kim, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. I just have a little cold right now. And finally got my cold.
Oh, yeah. It's a change in season, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't even know where to begin with everything, but I'll just talk about the golden ship.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
It was so weird because, you know, how you can go to sleep and you see things. And so I was like, it was a oval ship. It was very thin. And then in the middle, on top of it, was like an obsidian stone that was spinning around. And then people would go in and out and around it. That's the best way I can draw it. I haven't been able to draw it yet, but that's the best way I can explain it.
Yeah. So how did you have this thing with the golden? How'd that start in your inner consciousness?
I just went to sleep and then had the vision and woke up going, okay, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
yeah.
It's interesting you mentioned the golden ship. In my workshops, and I'll be starting up again in Connecticut, I take people on a journey to the golden ship. The golden ship, and let's see if if you go within what I'm going to say is probably true. The ship is as big as the planet Earth. The golden ship they take them to is a living being, a sentient being. The ship is actually a ship, but at the same time, it's a living being where there is a control center for the ship, but it has waterways, it has mountains, the ship is a living ship. It's as big as the Earth. And I've talked about this periodically on the show, and I take people out of their bodies in my workshops. They keep a journal when they come back and write down what they experienced. So they go wherever they want in a nanosecond, anywhere within the ship. It's all a living ship. So if people understand what living ship is, it's different than a metallic object. It's a living ship.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Correct. Can you explain, is that what you get in your specifics about the golden ship?
Yeah, it's really because it's round like the Earth but more oval, and then on the outside it's gold.
That'd be an accurate description. You're the first person that actually has shared something like this with me. So that's an accurate description of pretty much where I take people off planet in my guided journeys off planet during the warm weather. When I do these workshops, I take them actually off planet to the golden ship of light. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was just weird.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that.
Uh-huh.
So we're gonna. So I appreciate you sharing that. I'm also we're going to bring on, if she's available, Friends with Fairies up in Vermont, and we're going to try to bring her up here if she's available. I think she's in here now. So thank you so much, Psychic Kim, for sharing that, because there's a confirmation for you that there is a golden ship, which does exist. So once you get more clarity on that, keep focusing on the golden ship in your meditations, and you'll have more. And then you can draw it. If you see it the way you see it, I'm sure you'll have some clarity in the next few days regarding that. That's a really interesting story. Yeah, definitely. So thank you for sharing that. Are you still there? Okay. I think she can hear me. What's going on here? Let's do this here. I thank Psychic Kim. That was really good. Also, we have on now with us April here on the East Coast with us at 12:36 a.m. in the morning on Encounters. Good evening, good morning, or good evening, or good morning, whichever you want to call it.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, April.
How is everybody tonight? How are
We're
you?
doing good because we're doing good. I've been getting some clarity. I had messaged you quietly just about what I was thinking earlier. You might have gotten my message about the space people that you went on the ship with.
Yeah.
I think they're the ones who are actually doing the communications, directly with your equipment. Correct?
Yes.
That's the difference. You see, it's now
Yeah.
I feel I finally came to an understanding of that. So
Yeah, I had actually asked them about that. That was something I forgot to mention to you, because I was so excited. It was so much to tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was something that I had asked them about because I was concerned about what was going on with the other person and what that brought in. So there was actually two things that were happening like together, and it was like getting things very mixed up and confusing. So the thing that other person had brought in was definitely something negative. But the contact that you and I were having was from them. That was them trying to make first contact with us. So that's why I think that's why it's through my technology, through your show, because like I said, they said we were supposed to be working together.
Yes.
So that's why they were doing it the way they were doing it.
So now that we know that, I have such a clarity on this. I feel comfortable enough to say this. Let's forget that other name that was there from the other thing. Let's just put that out of the window. I know there's a different space being. Did you get a name when you're on the ship who the space being is?
I did. I didn't know how to spell it, so I was waiting so I could tell it.
Okay. So I want to tell people we've been very careful to wait till we had clarity on this. I have a connection with a space being. Forget the other space being. I want you to take that out of your consciousness. Anybody who used to watch my show when that other thing was happening, that was not correct. The space being, tried to pronounce the space being when you were taken on the spaceship in Vermont, who they are.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
Oh, the space being. Can you try to pronounce the space being's name?
I can say it. I just couldn't spell it. I wasn't sure of the spelling of it. It's Nakanook.
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 Yes.
I want people to remember the name Nakanook. Nakanook was their ship had landed not far from your house, and you had also documented outside the ship, recorded it, and they took you on the spaceship where you met many star people, including people I'm connected with that are human.
Yes. And Nakanook is part of the Ashtar Command. So and he's also an angelic being, so he's part of everything right now.
Nakanook.
Yes, Nakanook.
Nakanook.
I just didn't know how
So
to spell it, and I didn't want to sound stupid
right.
trying to spell it, but that's
No.
how, and I could pronounce it, but I wasn't sure of the correct spelling of it. But that's his
So
name.
so April and I knew there was something shifting, and I couldn't figure out what it was because it was different. It wasn't like an invasive thing.
No.
It was totally different, beautiful energy. So Nakanook is with the Ashtar Command.
Yes.
Nakanook has communicated took April physically on their ship. How many nights ago was that?
It was 4 nights ago now.
4 nights ago. She was not dreaming it. She was physically taken on board their spaceship.
Twice.
And not twice. Nakanook, the Ashtar Command, was utilizing and can utilize her communications equipment to communicate with us here on the show. So I want you to forget all about the past stuff that happened on here because it wasn't actually, I wasn't feeling it was accurate, or I felt it was kind of weird.
No, I think James was kind of on the right page.
Yeah, I think he was.
There was two. One was an entity, one was a being.
Right.
So the G word, we won't go to there.
We're not going to ever mention that word again.
Was not right.
No, it wasn't right.
That was a very bad thing, and we are not going to say that name anymore. Period.
Ever again. So now that I quietly had been working with April, and once we got clarity, and James was a great help with me. I thank James so much for the discussion we had a long time ago, because I also felt there was something not right about it. And, at first I didn't have any idea. I'm pretty clear. I'm pretty tuned into stuff, but it was so quick that I wasn't able to figure it out. But now I was able to, thanks for James and my friends quietly talking with me. It was really, really good. That's what your friends are for. That's hey, Commander, this doesn't sound right, Yeah. So Nakanook, the Ashtar Command.
Yes.
Nakanook is a positive being of light, a Christed being of light.
Yeah.
And I think I will tell you, if we bring Nakanook through using a Friends with Fairies phone equipment, it will not be invasive. It's not going to be like this other thing was. You're not going to have things taking your mirrors floating around in your room or whatever. That we're very protective here. And I tell you,
being done without permission. And so,
right. And they will never, Nakanook and the people on board that ship, the Ashtar Command, they'll never invade anybody's space electronically or ever. We will not allow that. So again, I have to thank James for early on alerting me when he went through that experience. And I thank James so much for that. I can't thank him enough for, talking with me early on, because there was something, I knew there was something off about it.
I know, right? There was, and it was, that other person, it was just like, it didn't feel right. It felt so weird that I couldn't even stay on the show when that was happening.
Nobody could.
Right in my gut. It just didn't feel right.
No, it didn't feel right. A lot of people were having problems. I felt really bad about it. And, I'm so glad we are now in a different frequency.
We love you too, James.
We love James. And so I feel confident enough to say with Nakanook of the Ashtar Command, how many people would like to see a Friday night contact night with Nakanook from the Ashtar Command? Nakanook is not the same thing as the other thing, which was a negative energy. I want to get a consensus here. And Nakanook and the Ashtar Command will never invade anybody. They'll never invade your space. That's why when Nakanook was playing songs through your phone, every song, if you notice, was a beautiful song about love, about harmony.
I was like, I couldn't understand why everybody was saying this was bad, and I'm like, it was all uplifting, beautiful stuff, and then James was like trickster, and I'm like, okay, so I was trying to piece that together, but it didn't feel right. But then when that other person was there, it felt ugly, it didn't feel true.
It was different.
Yeah.
Now, I want people to understand, the people that are saying no, understand there's a big difference between the negative experience and Nakanook, which is, she went on the spaceship where Nakanook is. She was taken on board the spaceship. You watch her page, she has documented video footage of the door opening on the ship. She went on the spaceship. These were human beings, angelic beings, Ashtar Command people. It's not the same thing as what occurred with the other experience. It's not. Okay, I know some people are afraid if we do this, but there's a lot of clarity here, and I have to trust.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't know if it'll happen. I don't know.
I don't know either, but I'm just saying I have to trust my own judgment. I'm always listening to people's things here, and yes, be safe, definitely, but understand the experience that has just happened the last few nights being on board a spaceship. She physically was on the spaceship of the beings that were trying to communicate with us just recently, not the other stuff.
Yeah,
we don't even use that name. We don't even say that name.
This was
but if people don't,
physical contact.
Physical contact. She had physical contacts. You understand what I'm saying? She was on board the spaceship physically. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand?
And
I want to make sure people understand.
And the commander, I was to pass all this along to the commander, and the commander is also at some point going to be having the same, well, not the same, but a similar
not the same
experience.
But I'm going to say this right now. At some point, I think, and they're very aware of our CE5 event coming up on the 13th.
They are.
Totally different energies, folks. I want you to know, I've been around this block a long time. I've been a contactee since a kid. I know the difference between one versus the other. I'm not asking you to trust me, but at least listen to what I'm saying and listen to what April's saying. She was physically taken on board the ship in Vermont of the actual beings that are human, not the other thing. There is a difference. They're not the same thing. They're different. Don't try to, put them up in one bowl. They're not the same thing. Right. The golden ship.
And for those of you who don't know, it was the other, well, there was a first contact with these beings where they just came to, well, there was actually 3 contacts. One, I shut the door on them and I didn't mean to, but I got startled. I didn't know.
Yes, you got
I
startled.
wasn't expecting to see somebody standing there when I opened up my door.
Right, that's right.
The second one, I actually saw them come down in a ball of light, and they came to actually physically walked up to me and had a small conversation with me, and then they left. Like it was a short, I guess they're short little introduction. Then they had come back, and then the second time they had taken me up in their ship. Their ship was actually up in the atmosphere, and then the second time they were landed in my woods. They
landed the ship, yeah.
And I got video of it. There was 6 ships that were out there that night. 6 ships, including Mikey, was out there. And if you don't know who Mikey is my protector that was placed by the Ashtar Command out there for my family and my property and this area for protection. And that's who Mikey is. Mikey is one of those orbs that look like they're rainbowy that a lot of people see. That's what those beings are. Those are protection beings that are placed by the Ashtar Command out in different parts of the world, because people are seeing them all over the place. But I just happen to have a name for mine. Mine's Mikey. But I was out there filming Mikey, and 6 ships appeared, and I got it all on video. 6 different ships. Some landed in the woods next to Mikey. Some were up in the air, or some were up in the atmosphere, flying around. One of them cloaked itself into a cloud. And then shortly after that, I went back out there again because it was really cold, and they were in my woods, landed. Their ship was cloaked, but you see the door open and you see these beings walk out. I've got up close snapshots of these beings. You can see the wings on them. You can see their blonde hair. I mean, it's very blurry because they shut my phone off.
And also the vibrational frequency of the phone, it affects the phone. That's
energy. Why. And I have the latest iPhone, so my camera is fantastic. But because there's so much energy from these ships being here, it makes my camera really grainy and blurry, like it's an old phone, but it is not an old phone.
Yes, I just want people to know, and I want to be really clear about what I'm saying here. You don't have to trust me at all. I've been around the block a zillion times. What April's telling you is not based on an astral projection, a dream state, a fantasy. She has everything on her page documented. You'll see the door that opened up on the ship physically. She walked into the ship. They put her into a spacesuit. This is all true information. Okay. The beings on the ship are with the Ashtar Command. This is the people I work with. They are from different planets. They all are in this big ship, and they're human, and they're beautiful looking people. They're not some monsters out to take over people's phones or houses or whatever. I want you to separate and understand there are differences in vibration and differences in space people. Okay? You got to understand this. When contact happens, you need to understand the differences. If you don't, you can't put them all in one big basket. It's just not, you can't do that. You just can't do it. So for people who are saying, no, understand this is very much different. Nakanuk, who she just told me the name of, is a space being, an angelic being with the Ashtar Command. This ship that she went on are beings of light, beings of love. So whatever you're thinking, which are dangerous, the ones that are lower vibrational are dangerous. The ones that tried to dupe us earlier on are the ones that are dangerous. This communication she's having when she went on the ship, they put her into a spacesuit because their oxygen level is different. And she got treated to, because they're vegetarian, she was treated to a thing called a pearl, which is in our world, in my world, a watermelon, but it's a little tiny watermelon called a pearl. She got to eat some of the vegetarian food on their ship. This is all true stories, okay? I'm giving you real information. Whether you wish to believe it or not, I don't care, because I have to go with my instincts. I've made corrections in where we were going with this. That other thing's not happening anymore, so we don't even say that word anymore. But Nakanuk is an Ashtar Command space being, and they landed their ship in the woods, and she went on the spaceship a few days ago. Okay? Whether you believe it or not, I don't care. Understand this. What other people think, in all my life, I don't go by what other people think. I have to go with my inner understandings, my inner reflection. If I don't do that, then I'll be going all over the place. I never do that. I will listen if it makes sense. If it's like scary or fear-based comments, I won't listen. I mean, I'll hear it, but if it's not where we are now versus where we were then, I have to educate people. I really do, of what the differences are, So this will be a good experience. And what I'm going to do is we're going to test the waters to do a Friday night experiment with Nakanuk, with April, who works in the highest levels of light. All right, we're going to have a Friday night contact experience. If you feel afraid to be here on Friday night, I'm not going to force you to be here. But if you want to know the difference between what happened before and what's going to happen Friday night, then have the courage within your own being to sit down and listen. Okay? To have the ability to sit down and listen. If you want to elevate and educate yourself, you saw what the other experience was, and we all didn't like it, even me. Now we're having the other side of the coin where the Ashtar Command is now doing what they're doing and communicating with April. And I will also say that Nakanuk and the people on that ship are very aware of me. April talked about my off-planet family members that are on that ship that I'm connected with.
Our families are friends.
Our families are friends.
Mine and the commander's families are friends off Earth, and I actually got to meet the commander's father while I was on the ship. This second ship, there was two different ships, and the second ship was the one they actually live on, the one that they live in. And the first ship was their basically like their space office. That's the only way I can describe it. It's like a space office. The other one was their living facilities, and it was huge inside. I mean, several beings live on that ship, and they took me for a tour of the ship.
Yeah.
Through a lot of it.
It's
I didn't get
amazing.
to see all of it, but I got to see a good chunk of it.
And I will reveal this. Okay, I've got to reveal this to you. When we do our CE5 event, which we will have a group on the 13th of April at 8 o'clock live, we'll be on TikTok. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't predict anything. All I know is I have to go with my heart. If I don't go with my heart, I'm disregarding myself. If I disregard myself, I'm disregarding the truth. If I disregard the truth, I might as well hang it up. Just go about living a human life, doing my thing, just watching TV programs and the regular news channels and just forget about it. But I'm not going to do that. If I don't go within my own understandings, I've known all my life that eventually my star family, the people that I'm really connected with, would find and contact me. What happened now with April when she went on that ship, she met the people that are from the Ashtar Command, which are Christed beings of light.
And
they are.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
There's many different species of them, and they all work together.
Yeah. I'm bringing James back up here, and I'm privileged to have James as a dear friend.
Credit, and we'll add these onto there. So,
hey, James, you're here. I think James is on a spaceship. I hear all these people. Hey, James.
I got it.
Do you want a cookie?
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, good. Have you
I don't know if he realizes. James, do you realize you're on the air? Oh, James, he think he knows he's on the air now. So I want to make this very clear. I learned a very, very good lesson. And thanks to my friends like James for helping me out here.
Sorry,
I learned a very valuable. I was telling how you really helped me learn a valuable lesson, and we really finally figured out that what was happening was not what was really positive. And so I just thank James forever for that. And now that I've had this other situation with Nakanook and her going on this
UFO stories.
UFO stories. What?
Sorry, everybody's like, you want a cookie because I'm at the dang hotel and they're all listening.
Oh, you're at the hotel.
Talking to the lady at the front desk.
The lady at the front desk, let her know she's talking to a famous talk show host, CmdrAleon. And tell her that you're number one UFO talk show, the lady at the desk. This is you want to get a free room with free transport to your hotel.
And a free breakfast.
A continental breakfast for sure.
For the rabbit.
For the rabbit, yes. Get a free breakfast. He needs that. He needs also a free dinner.
Yeah. Some rabbit food.
Rabbit food.
Happy, and if anything, this situation just shows people how, when cooler heads prevail and people are just willing to talk to each other and communicate rather than just, letting emotions take hold, we can make a lot of great things happen.
And we did that. We I'm always a calm person anyway. I'm like, I'm pretty logical, level-headed or whatever. And James knows that. And we had a great discussion. Frankly, it was an eye-opener because it didn't feel right. It didn't seem right. And James led me into the light of realizing that, wait a minute, this is not right. Especially when people's phones were dying out and equipment was going crazy. That's not what the Ashtar Command does. We don't do that kind of stuff. So thank you again, really for that, James. Friends at Ferry, being on the ship. And I want to tell you folks about what's happening. I've got to tell you now because now I have clarity. With Nakanook, I didn't know his name. And all the different angelic beings and the space people of light that are on that ship, they are aware of where we're going to be on April 13th. They know our coordinates. So I have no, what's the word for it? I have no expectations. I just know when we get our group together, my friend Greg and Elaine, they're not on TikTok or they don't have any social media, but when we get everybody together to that area, we're going to do our Christed meditation, which we always do before we start a CE5. And should that ship show up, and should they invite us to go on their ship, however that's going to work, we will not be able to broadcast on the ship if that happens. But I will definitely say we will come back and provide information that they give us. April, you can tell us what you know. Have they stated that they're going to show up that night? You have any information from them?
I do. They said that they were talking about what they were going to be doing about it. I didn't really get into that part of it because they had other information that I talked to you about that they were passing along. That was a lot more important than that in their eyes, you know. So I tried to push it, but they were more worried about the other thing that
I'm sure they are. Yeah, no, I got, I mean, if you do talk to them again, I think what I'll do is we're going to do a Friday night session with Nakanook. Okay. And again, understand, people, Nakanook is not the other thing. We're not going to mention that word ever. That word is being like locked up in a vault somewhere. But Nakanook is an Ashtar Command Christed being, angelic being, and there are many angelic beings within the Ashtar Command. There are many space beings of galactic light that are in the Ashtar Command. So when you were on that ship, when they took you on board that ship, you saw many different humans from different planetary systems, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. There was the angelic beings, and then there was the tall blondes that were in there. Well, yeah. Well, not all of them were like white blonde, but your dad had dirty blonde hair, like a brownish.
My dad had dirty blonde hair. I've never met. I don't remember what he looks like. But
handsome.
if I do go on the ship, that will be an interesting thing to meet my off-planet dad, who is not like my Earth father. This is going to be very interesting. I'm not in a rush. However this happens, if I go on their ship, I will be very honored and humbled to learn things and bring back things to people on this broadcast, if that should happen. I feel very honored if that.
Commander.
Yes.
Commander, I have vital information.
Oh, good.
Your space skin color is not white, nor is it green from Mars, but your father's got iridescent skin. It's iridescent.
I never knew that. It's good to know.
I just see it on your skin.
I swear, if he comes out with that wig on again, bust aside.
With the wig on, yeah, the wig.
Oh my God, I couldn't.
I love the wig. He did the wig.
The hotel, guys.
He reminds me of there was somebody. This it has nothing to do with wigs, but that was James's other twin brother with the wig on. James has like 3 brothers. One that wears a wig, the sister, and
James Divine.
James Divine. Yeah, that's true. That's we're almost at 100,000. We're at 78.6. It's 104, folks. You can do better than that. We need to get to 100,000 likes here. Everybody needs to tap. We have 200 people on here from planet Earth. Everybody on planet Earth tap the screen. Everybody. I'm not going to let you off the hook that easy. Commander doesn't do that. So what we're going to do, seriously, we're going to have a beautiful night Friday night. I'm going to make a video. We're going to do contact with Nakanook. I gotta hit myself in the head a few times. Nakanook. I'm gonna knock my nook.
Oh, I thought you said not a nook.
Knock a nook.
And I'm gonna knock my nook right here.
So
if I keep doing that, it might not send some sense into me, but I don't know.
You must not be knocking Commander's nook.
That's right. Watch out for my nook, everybody. It's a cosmic nook, and watch out.
Cosmic Nook, everybody, watch out.
He's got a cosmic.
I've got a cosmic nook, and you better watch out.
Palladians travel from all over the star systems just to see Commander's Nook.
That's right. That's right. And they can knock a noggin, says Jan R. Commander, knock a noggin.
Oh my God.
So, we're getting to the winding down part of the show. You can tell that we're at 83.4. We're not at 100,000 yet, so we need to get there. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put together a video, a short promotional video for Friday night. We're going to have Nakanook as our guest, and Nakanook, again, for people to understand this, is not the same as what happened before. We're not going to mention any other name of any other thing. It's strictly going to be, that name is banned from my broadcast forever. But Nakanook with the Ashtar Command will be our guest. They are facilitating their communications with Friends with Fairies system. And they will actually be able to, if they decide to, in discussion, you can have questions to Nakanook and from the command, and Nakanook will try to answer the questions as honestly as they can from their spaceship. So, and can you explain what their spaceship looks like from the outside and from the inside? Did you get a visual?
So from the outside, I could not tell you what it looked like because the only thing I saw was trees. They had it under cloak, and when they opened up the door, then it was like a bright
What about
light.
the
It was
pictures you sent
actually
me?
blue, but my camera picked it up like it was orange. I don't know why that happened, but they were shutting my camera down as they were coming up. So,
oh, really? Okay.
but
what you're saying, James?
What about the pictures? She sent me some pictures
of the being.
I don't know what it was, but when I was looking at the picture, it looked like a craft. It didn't look like a being. It looked like a craft. It was one of the ones you sent me recently.
Yeah, one of your pictures looked like a big spaceship.
I was so excited I was sending it to all of you.
Yeah. No, one of them looks like a big spaceship.
Okay, so there was 6 ships that were out there that night, and then the actual ship that I went on was at the edge of my property, and it had landed, and it was cloaked. So that's why, because when I went to the ship, I looked on either side because I'm like, where's the ship at? Because I saw the door, but I didn't see the ship. It looked just like the trees at the end of my property if they had it cloaked. But when you
okay.
But when you walk in, the door opened and the ship was actually there, but I couldn't see it on either side. I looked too. I leaned and looked.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see. Because I'm like, where's the ship at? Because
they probably
amazing.
They probably cloaked it so nobody they don't want to be detected by military or anything. So they're right to cloak their ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. They could, if they were uncloaked, then you'd have the Air Force trying to figure out where they were. So I think they're trying to protect you too as well. So I think that's a good thing they cloaked their spaceship. So Friday night we're going
Commander, everybody.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, we got you.
I was going to say, Tiffany Leftwich in the chat, we got to get her 60 more followers because she's got some pictures of a ship that her mom's been seeing.
And Tiffany has 100. Tiffany Leftwich, we need to get her up to 200 to talk about that. So everybody follow Tiffany wherever you are. She mentioned earlier, Commander, my mom got a pic of the ship she has been seeing. Yeah, so we need to get Tiffany Leftwich up to over 200 to talk about that. But in order for her to show any pictures, she'd have to have 1,000 followers. But she'll get there. At least get her up to 200. I do it's been visiting her. It's been visiting her. I think you're saying the spaceship has been visiting your mom. I think that's what you mean.
She says she does have pictures and it's been visiting.
Yeah, she's saying that.
I think I understood what she was trying to say. And yeah, I'd love to see that. I think we all would on encounters. So that will be good. And of course, excuse me, I have a little bit of cider left. Thank God I have a half a gallon of cider left.
I think he's got a problem, James.
Well, I have to tell people I am
I was
addicted.
actually watching.
Go ahead, James.
Yeah, he's got a slight earth addiction.
An earth addiction. I have an earth addiction to watermelons and apple cider and Concord grapes. Those are my 3 addictions.
The watermelons in Connecticut taste as good as the watermelons in Florida.
Mine do. They're organically grown. I grow organic. This year, I'm hoping to grow 200+ pound watermelons.
Has anybody ever tried cotton candy grapes?
My daughter has. I don't like the taste, but she has.
They are so good. I just discovered those this weekend. I've been on the hunt because after trying those,
candy?
Yeah, there are such things as cotton candy grapes. I couldn't believe it.
They're good.
I don't know how they make a cotton candy grape or grow it. I don't understand that.
It tastes. It's a grape that tastes. It has like a hint of like a cotton candy taste to it. And they're really sweet. They're super good.
Really, I can't get into.
I can't. It's not a watermelon.
And no, I grow Concord grapes. I'm addicted to Concord grapes.
Those are really good.
And I have 5 Concord grape plants in my micro farming, and so in September, I'll hopefully have so many grapevines. I'll be like giving grapes away.
I have a huge field of wild raspberries.
Oh, good. Those are good.
Oh, yes.
We'll take those any day.
Oh, yeah. They're sweet, too. Blackberries and red raspberries.
What, James?
Heard it through the grapevine that Commander was a...
Also, another good thing I like is carrots. Like, James, I know because he's a rabbit, he has an addiction to carrots.
True story, everybody. Listen, I eat at home, I probably eat 2 bags of carrots a week.
Yeah, no, I believe it.
Straight up.
That's why his name is Down the Rabbit Hole. It's true.
I eat them raw. I put them in my tomato sauce. I put them in my smoothies. I put carrots in everything.
How do carrots taste in tomato sauce?
Oh my gosh, that's the secret. The secret to a non-acidic tomato sauce is sweet and carrots in your sauce.
Yeah, I'd have to try that. I like eating raw carrots. Well, we're almost at 100,000, folks. We're almost there, 97.1. And come on, folks. We got to get everybody tapping. I know not everybody's tapping. That's why I know we're not at 100,000. I'm aware of a lot of things around here, folks. My eyes are everywhere. I see you. I see all of you. Even if you don't think I see you, I do. We're almost at 100,000 now. I want everyone to follow everybody else on the show. We want to bring everybody up. We like to uplift everybody on the show, as you all know. The commander's into positivity, creativity, and spaceativity. What is spaceativity? Spaceativity is actively getting into space, actively being a spaceativity person.
And
if you're not,
don't forget Cosmic Nakanukity.
Cosmic Nakanukity on Friday night. Nakanook, Friday night, Nakanukity. Cosmically on Encounters.
Nakanook.
A show that's
not a nuke.
Nakanook. Person's asking me, cure of cancer, diabetes. The Earth is flat? No, the Earth is not flat. If you draw a picture of the Earth, a circular picture, and you look at the picture, it will be round. I don't get into these discussions. There's so many people on TikTok copying each other about, is the Earth flat? Is the Earth round? Is the Earth square? Let me explain something. because I come from Mars, I want all the people that are being brainwashed that the Earth is a flat planet to understand that every planet in the universe is round, or at least oval. The planets are not flat. Now, again, the important thing to know is unless your head becomes flat, unless you have a flat head, then maybe the Earth and other planets would be flat. But do any of you have a flat head? Answer the question. How many people out here have an actual flat head? Nobody. You know why? Because there are no flat heads unless you get hit with a iron thing from a big building and it flattens out your head.
Unless
there are
you
no
get
flat
hit
heads.
in the neck and nook.
Unless you get hit in the knock and nook.
No, the flat top was my favorite Dick Tracy character.
Yeah.
Remember Flat Top?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I remember Flat Top, yeah. So definitely in terms of the question, I get this question on my show all the time.
Commander.
Say again, James?
I said we hit 100,000. Commander can go to bed and stop showing off his Nakanook.
Yeah, I can now go to sleep.
His nook.
But before I go to sleep, I want to get some gifting here. So I appreciate all the gifts so far. To show you support for what we do, please do some gifting now. Thank you, Down the Rabbit Hole. He's starting the gifting. We're going to have a gifting war right now at the end of the show. That's the only war I will allow on here at the end of the show is unconditional gifting for my show. Rob is getting involved in the gifting. We're going to have some more. Rob is competing with Down the Rabbit Hole. Cultural
coming out. We got a Rob with the flower. We got cultural commentator with the flowers. We got flowers coming in. Everybody got flower. One flower, two flower, three flower. I am Cloud with the flower. We got flowers coming from everybody all around the world. We got Rob with the fire. Rob with the fire. We got I am Cloud with 8 roses coming on down. Knock-a-nook. Sharon Lee with the hearts. Sharon Lee. Golden Kim coming in from behind with the roses. Sharon Lee leading the pack with 17 hearts coming around the corner. We've got I am Cloud. With 6 hearts. Golden Kim, Sharon Lee. Oh my gosh. Who's going to win this race? Ha 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 ha.
Wow, this is crazy. Wow, who's going to beat out? Well, the same other people are sitting back with their TikTok coins. You're getting way behind everybody else. Golden Kim, I am. Look at this. They're beating everybody out, man. Look at this.
This is so
I know that
everybody.
This is amazing. They're beating everybody out here. It's just crazy. The both of them, they got it beat on here. We have 174 people.
Golden Kim, thank you.
Oh my God. I believe there are other people here with TikTok coins just waiting to see what happens. And right now we're at gifting wars. Jackie F is
with the heart. She's making it rain. Golden Kim with the golden shower of hearts.
Oh my God. Jackie F is going on. Oh, look at I'm telling you, it's crazy here, folks.
Amazing. That's so awesome. Thank you.
Sharon Lee, here she goes.
Oh, here she goes. Gosh. We can see who got their tax income checks in. Holy moly, folks.
You guys are amazing.
And I'm pinning the galaxy. I have 5 galaxies pinned. We're going to see who is going to join the battle with galaxies. 5 galaxies are available. Sharon Lee, Golden Kim are going at it. They're going at it, folks. They're really going at it. This is crazy.
Sharon Lee, all these women showing their love for Commander Aleon.
I am
is doing. Boys and girls, children of all ages, we have a race for the ages.
We got the finger heart.
We've got a race going. Holy moly!
I also
Golden
have
Kim making it rain with the hearts, the golden shower of hearts.
Oh my goodness! And we got 5 galaxies waiting to be taken. 5 galaxies with 1,000 coins. You can show a galaxy here. 5 people out of 152 people, and the battle is on for gifting.
Oh my gosh!
Yep.
Thank you guys
Sharon Lee.
so much.
Sharon Lee for friendship. Friends with. Oh, look, Diana is doing. Oh, there we go. We got the hot tamala there, or whatever it is.
Diana Bailey coming from behind.
Down the rabbit hole is getting something too. The rabbit's getting some very good roses there. Let's see here. Is anyone going to do any galaxies? Do we have any galaxies? Going once, going twice, going third time. Galaxies, galaxies, galaxies. You know, I love galaxies. Golden Kim is doing the friendship thing, heart puffs. We got Diana with the heart puffs. Thank you, Diana. We appreciate it. Oh, look at that. There are people going crazy here. This is,
wow.
We do this always, folks, at the end of the show. We do the gifting through the show, but at the end of the show, we do gifting wars for the commanders. So we're doing gifting wars.
So much.
Get involved.
I'm like an
Get
addict
involved.
I'm going crazy. I'm going
Down the
crazy. I'm
rabbit
losing
hole.
it.
He's sending
Tap,
30
tap, tap.
Lexicon,
awesome.
lightning bolts. There you go, lightning bolts. This is crazy. This. I might just stay on all night for this. No, I'm not going to do that. But look at this. Is going crazy on encounters. This is what encounters is about. This is showing the love unconditionally. This is love unconditionally for the show.
You guys are only 6,000 hearts away from getting Commander his night vision goggles.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it might be happening sooner than later. Lexicon, thank you for the lightning bolt. 4 lightning bolts of Lexicon. Anybody else want to jump in here? Anybody else? Anybody else? I can't talk too fast. Anybody else want to jump in here with a gift? Anybody? Anybody? Jennifer?
Look at her.
Jennifer got the roses going. Anybody? Anybody new? Anybody new? I can talk pretty fast. You know, look, this is pretty fast. I'm talking really fast. If I talk any faster, I won't be able to talk really any faster than I am talking. So I'll talk faster if you give me a galaxy. I'll talk faster if you give me a galaxy. Anybody want a galaxy? A galaxy? Oh, the TK, thank you for the paper crane. I can talk fast because I was a radio DJ, so I can talk fast. Carol sent me a galaxy. Thank you, Carol. I'll take talking fast if I get 4 more galaxies. If I get 4 more galaxies, I'll talk fast. 4 more galaxies. 4 galaxies, I'll talk fast. 4 more. 4 more galaxies. Galaxies, 4 more galaxies. I'll talk fast. 4 more galaxies.
You guys are so generous. Thank you.
But all kidding aside, folks, we love you all. I appreciate everybody here. A little bit of fun at the end of the show, right? And Friday night, we will do contact with Nakanook from the Ashtar Command. Again, this is not channeled. Sharon Lee, thank you.
Thank you.
That's the second galaxy. We have 3 more galaxies available. So if you give me a gift, it's unconditional. Jennifer, you're beautiful. Hey, thank you so much for the roses.
There's 3.
Carol, thank you for the galaxy. There's 3 galaxies.
Wow, Commander, that is
2 more galaxies to go. I need 2 more galaxies to hit my goal tonight. So hey, Jennifer, thank you for the roses. We're getting some beautiful roses, and all the gifts are important. So whether they're small or large doesn't matter. 2 more galaxies to go. You can get those galaxies now for 1,000 TikTok coins. Just go on your TikTok coin area, and you'll be able to give us a galaxy. Okay. But you have to, thank you for the hat. That was unusual. Lexicon. Man, thank you so much for that hat. I appreciate it, brother. That's really nice. I have the galaxies, the mustache, whatever going on here. Good to have everybody with us. John Connors, good evening, everybody. Carol, that's the 4th galaxy.
This is number 5.
We're gonna go. We're gonna go. I think I just hit my goal.
You did. Thank you, guys. That is awesome.
Man.
Love you.
Now I can go to sleep and end the show tonight. I want to thank everybody for being here. You're all beautiful. We love all the new people that have found our show, Encounters. This is the #1 UFO spiritual talk show on social media. I hope everybody has a beautiful night. We'll be on tomorrow night, and we'll be communicating with Nakanook. We're doing a show with Nakanook from the Ashtar Command on Friday evening. Nakanook will be our guest here, and I want to thank everybody for showing your support, asking your questions. And again, if you're under 200 people and you wish to have a story shared, when you get up to 200, we'll have you on here on audio. You need 1,000 TikTok followers in order to go live for audio and video. So again, thank you. Please, everybody know about the show. We'll see you tomorrow night, everybody.
Awesome,
good night. Jackie F., thank you for that. You're all awesome. April, take care up in northern Vermont. And we'll catch you all later.
I love you.
Yeah. Take care, everybody.
Bye.